in the morning, you got me up, all cause you need to talk. To 4 in the evening, wanna break up, say that you've had enough. I'm tired of talking, again and again, argue about everything. You are my darling, this kiss and make up, I know you wanna touch. You call me every night, call me every day, I just wanna get you alone now. Trust me when I say, we gon' be okay, we just gotta boom bada boom ba. I don't wanna fight, you know that I'm right, baby let me talk to your body. We gon' be okay, hear me when I say.
Frustration is often manifest in a myriad of ways. But more recently, Al Greeze, the producer of Frustrated 1, 2, and 3, more or less posits why men are not only frustrated as it relates to relationships, family court, and also finding wives, but also could it be argued that men are frustrated to the ongoing onslaught of emasculation as it relates to men here in America. More recently, Viola Davis was in the movie called The Woman King. And hearing the word woman king to many men sounded to be very oxymoronic. Why is it that there appears to be some level of penis envy when it comes down to heteronormative masculinity? Why is it that men often are being minimized not only in society but also in homes? And anytime elites or woke culture have the opportunity, they use that opportunity as a way to sabotage the image of black men. Some would argue that black men should be more about their own business and doing what's best for them by getting support and more or less encouraging one another. And while that argument has some level of plausibility, the greater argument is that many times filmmakers like Al Greeze have to traverse through many barriers just to get even a spectacle of support. Why is that? Is it because Al Greeze represents masculinity and masculine men? Is it because Al Greeze represents the liberation of men as well? Why is it Viola Davis and her movie got so much critical acclaim and also support from Sony, but many times filmmakers like Al Greeze can't get any support, even though there are men that are supporting this film? Sit back, relax, and enjoy this show as I bring it to you live from the greatest state in the union, the Tar Heel State. And I need you guys to remember this as we talk about male masculinity and understanding how the media plays a role on the psychology of men. If it ain't 7, it ain't kosher. If it ain't kosher, it ain't right. There are 7 steps that a man must go through in order to become an optimized male, and understanding how the media plays a role on the psyche of a man is paramount as men seek to find resolve in times where masculinity appears to be under attack. Once again, in this show, we will be examining the contrast and the paradox behind Al Greeze and Viola Davis. Who's right? You decide. Be well.
I got an itch in my palm. My girl, she know she the one. I put the ice on her hand, I put some ice on her arm. See me shining in the light, know you found me in the dark. Talking how you wanna leave, girl you made this far. Taking trips overseas, no I won't be long. We came up from the weeds, now it's top floor. All these big yes on her wrist, VVS is on her neck. Make it spinning, I don't stress, when I make it stretch. Double back to back then, down broke, now we rich. Spend it on a let it spin, down with me to the end. That my best friend, that my best friend, that my best friend. I'ma spend it on her, cause she all mine. That's me. Spend it on a challenge, cause she all mine. There for my first cake, then we hit 100K. $500,000 on the way, then $1 million on the way. Eating good full plates, eating good say grace. Eat her up, get thanks, she got cake birthday. I can't waste no way, I can't waste no play. My girl, whoa, whoa, something like the baddest chick. My girl, whoa, whoa, came from the rags to rich. Hit the road running, I had to tell her I had to get it. She understood, but she spoiled, so when she get mad, she dip. All these big yes on her wrist, VVS's on her neck. Make it spin and don't stress. When I make it stretch. Double back to back then. Down broke, now we rich. Spend it on her, let her spin. Down with me to the end. That my best friend. That my best friend. That my best friend. I'ma spend it on her, cause she all mine. Spend it on a challenge, cause she all mine. All these big yes on her wrist, VVS is on her neck. Make it spin and don't stress. When I make it stretch. Double back to back then. Down broke, now we rich. Spend it on her, let her spin. Down with me to the end. That my best friend. That my best friend. That my best friend. I'ma spend it on her, cause she all mine. All these big yes on her wrist, VVS is on her neck. Make it spin and don't stress. Spend it on a challenge, cause she all mine. That my best friend. That my best friend. That my best friend.
Relationship deprivation.
When you date a woman and she may be a potential wife, it's a competition thing all the way. I can't take it no more.
They feel propped up because they feel more beholden to the government. And then their man comes second. That's why they figure that they're strong, independent, don't need no man because they have the government.
Because the men are failing us, to be honest. Guys thinking about themselves and they'll think about you after you react.
You don't hear anything about being good wives and all this other stuff. What you hear is you're strong and you independent. You can do it on your own. You got black girl magic, black girl walk, but you ain't said nothing about black family.
My mother is like what they consider to be the strong black woman. I feel like I projected that onto the guys that I dated.
Ladies have no idea how stiff their competition really is. You have no clue how black men are viewed in the rest of the world. We are the #1 most sexually desired man on the face of this planet.
They would call Jesus Dusty if he was here living in America because of the gross narcissism that a lot of our women have.
Power deprivation.
His money doesn't go to his child. His money goes to the system.
Personal accountability is one of those things that just goes across the board.
It's none of his business how it's being spent. Just pay the money and we'll take care of the rest.
I see why people walk away. I see why dads walk away, and it's the system. It's the system that's driving them away.
I let her know I ain't got no money for no Jordans. You call your dad or do whatever you gotta do. You can get 2 pair a year, that's it.
The non-custodial father has rights. So the mother just jumps up and says, you can't see your child, I can't go see the child.
When he said that he was going to take all of my custodial rights away, I was literally devastated.
The family court is one of the most dangerous courtroom, the most dangerous courtroom in the world.
This makes it near impossible. I can't understand how most guys can even begin to approach the situation.
When a woman gets pregnant, one of these basketball players, baseball players, wealthy guys, it's called a cash register. Because that's what that child is. It's a cash register.
There is no accountability. You write that check or you go to jail.
Affection, deprivation.
Women are noticing that their men are crossing the borders to find happiness, romance, or even just somebody to have a good time, hang out with. I come to Brazil, I sit down at the table, I order food. Young lady places a drink in front of me, opens my straw, puts it in my glass, and I'm chilling. Doesn't make her less of a woman, doesn't make me more of a man. It's just that we have different roles in life, and she knows hers, and I know mine.
Several years ago, I read an article from Essence magazine in regards to African-American men going to Brazil.
There's been a number of articles since the Essence story.
The article was not pleasant at all. It was quite negative.
The article is racially motivated, and to me it's just another attack on the black man.
I feel in conversating with other guys who have potential here, you should come here and experience what she has to offer Brazil.
People that write the article saying that they don't understand why we come to this place or any other place are biased because they've never experienced it.
Every black man should come down one time before you be put in this earth to see how this culture treats you. It's heaven.
You don't want to come down to Rio. I said, because if you do, you're going to come back thinking, how can I get rid of her? You know, and I just said, that's, I can't put it to you wrong. I said, if you married and you love your wife and you're satisfied, I said, don't come here.
You're looking for cheap sex with pretty girls. I think to a certain extent you're almost like a predator.
They are nothing but lies, and it should not have been accepted by the black women. That article is to bridge the gap between you, and that's the reason that article came by.
It's not an issue until the black man starts doing it.
I agree.
Al Greeze will be here in a minute, and hopefully we'll be having a more in-depth conversation. But guys, we're going to talk about the importance of masculinity, and we're going to talk about the struggles that many men go through as it relates to respect here in modern America. It could be argued, guys, that we're going through a crisis in America, and that crisis has been more or less predicated by a field writer, Al Greeze, about the frustration that many men are dealing with here in these times called America. They're frustrated with the laws as it relates to paternity fraud. They're frustrated with the laws as it relates to getting respect and about being men. They're frustrated about the quality of women as it relates to relationships. And that frustration, guys, is taking a different turn as it relates also to this latest movie called The Woman King. And Al Greeze and I are going to have a powerful conversation on tonight, guys. It's going to be a very good conversation. You know, he's in the house right now. Shout out to Al Greeze. And we're going to talk about it, guys, because it's important. Al Greeze, film writer of Frustrated 1, 2, and 3, is going to talk about the struggles that he as an independent filmmaker more or less encountered over the years in the past, but also the paradox that we're currently seeing in modern times in modern America as it relates to men getting respect, men getting honor, and also men getting dignity. Before we go any further, Al Greeze, I want you to introduce yourself, the film writer and also maker of Frustrated 1, 2, and 3. I was in that movie along with a couple of other content creators, El Guapo of Beautiful Lives, Dr. Ron Neal, Chris Strongheart, and we were in the movie. And so, Al, I want you to talk to the audience, man, about your what I call your latest crowning of achievement, but also the controversy behind this woman, Angela Viola Davis, in this current movie called The Woman King.
Oh, first and foremost, man, good to see you again, my brother, Coach. It's good to see you.
No doubt, brother.
Yeah, so currently out here in Baja Tijuca, man, just trying to relax a little bit and live life a little bit, man. That's it. Just trying to enjoy myself. Can you repeat that question for me? I'm sorry.
No, you're fine, brother. So when I look at your struggles and the things you went through as an independent filmmaker, some will say that black men need to support one another, pull themselves up by the bootstraps, and don't complain about it. But while I would say in theory that's true, the reality is this, that anything that's related to masculinity in men is always an uphill struggle. I want you to talk about your struggles being an independent filmmaker and the hell you went through trying to put a product on the market that so many saw as controversial.
Oh, well, it's an everyday struggle, especially as an independent filmmaker. So once again, I write, produce, direct, fund, also executive produce, fund my own material. The reason being is because the material that I put out is male empowerment. So it's based on male. A lot of it's based on male empowerment, and that's not appealing to a wider audience. So I get marginalized in that way. So for me, it's necessary to get the support from the brothers, especially from Passport Heavy brothers and all that stuff, because that's the kind of information that I'm putting out. For Viola's struggle, Miss Davis, excuse me, no disrespect, Miss Davis struggles a little bit different because she's inside the system, so to speak. She's inside the system, and to my knowledge, I know she produced this film as well. She's starring in it, and she produced this film, and that means she found the writers, she found the money, she went through the pre-production, post-production, went through all the steps, so she has to fight for it. This is kind of her baby, and I don't know if she has produced or put anything else out before, but she has to fight. She has a struggle, and they're gonna put her backers, financial backers, going to put her on the forefront. Like, hey, you got to do something. You got our bread out there, so you got to fight to make sure this is going to be a hit. If not, she's going to have trouble and struggles when she comes up with the next bright idea, looking for funding. Mine is a little bit different because I fund myself, so I answer to no one. And I went through the indie. I go through the indie route by putting it out on Vimeo and come on shows, brothers like yourself, man, that allow me to come onto their platform and break down my product and introduce me to the audience. So I'm truly grateful for that. So my struggle, her struggle is a little bit different because she makes a product and then boom, give it here. We take it over from here. To my understanding, with the issue with the Woman King is that it's not factual. There's some people are saying that it's not being 100% truthful, and since when a movie's 100% factual, if you're not making speaking about documentaries or something on the Discovery Channel or something like that based on animals, all movies in there have some distortion in it because they're going to make it to fit their narrative, whatever narrative they want it to fit. So I can understand the backlash on that, but to a certain extent, because she's not trying to educate you, she's trying to entertain you. Now, she has people that she has to answer to. What is their method and goal of using that on this film? What is their objective at the end of the day on this film? That's who we need to hear from, but you're not going to hear from them because they're going to push her out in front. They're going to push Miss Davis out in front and let her take all the heat on that. So it's her backings, the people who backed her up, financial people that put money in there. Like I said, the difference is when people like brothers like yourself, man, have me over to your show and you want me to break down my film, I have no problem doing that because I am the backer. I owe nobody no explanation, nobody, when it comes to on the financial side of it. But she does, and the people are getting at her about that because it is a sensitive subject matter. When you go back to speaking on slavery and stuff, it's a sensitive subject matter, and they're kind of a little upset. Well, why would you go along with this? But once again, she's a producer. She found the writer. She found the storyline. She found the writer. She found people. She hired everybody to take what was on paper to take it off paper, and then went through the post. So she's being pushed to the forefront on it, and she's getting some backlash on it. I lost you, brother. I can't hear you. No, I can't hear you, brother.
Yeah, she's definitely. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I apologize. Yeah, she's definitely getting backlash on Al Greeze. And what I think it is the combination of a lot of things that men are dealing with and also struggling with because based on what you're seeing now, which appears to be the erosion of masculinity and anything pertinent to masculinity. Could you imagine Al Greeze that had a movie called that's dedicated by heteronormative or masculine men called The Man Queen? Imagine an uproar of men decide to take on the mantle and call themselves the Man Queen. But, you know, when we look back in time, Greeze, you and I are Gen Xers, and it appears that now, more so now than ever before in human history, it appears that people are trying to minimize the importance of masculinity. Would you say that's the case? Not only in the movie industry, but also based on your own anecdotal experiences.
It is the case, but to a certain extent, because you don't see that attack on, to a certain extent, you don't see that attack on white men at the same level that you see it on black men, and you don't see that on Asians, and you don't see it on Indian and Hispanic to that level. So it's all set by design. Now, most of the masculinity attack has been, in my opinion, has been projected onto the black man, because when you come in there and you see entertainers and artists now, you know, they're in the forefront of showing them in dresses, putting them in dresses, the commercials for homosexual behaviors and medicines. When I turn on the TV, that's who I see out in the forefront of that. So that's what's being pushed. In this film here, I don't know who her true backers are, but the issue is not they have a problem with the attack on masculinity. They have attack on the truth. The film is not being truthful. It's not factual. Mm-hmm. That's their push on it. The fact that the attack on black men and masculinity, that you have this tribe and there's no men being portrayed and protecting this tribe. As far as the film is concerned, because I went behind the scenes and they showed they were like guards of the palace, and not so the military is kind of different. Like Gaddafi. Gaddafi walked around with female guards, but his military had men in it. And that's not the issue with people. So the fact that they're having this film with no black men in there and being protectors and all that stuff, nobody has an issue with that. Nobody has an issue with that. The issue is that it's false. The narrative, the whole story, the narrative of the story is false.
Yeah, that's very interesting what you were talking about, Greeze. The fact that they didn't have a man in the movie, and you know, it burns me up, Greeze, because there's a segment of people in the world that always say, "Save your community, black men, or protect the community." But I've always said, Greeze, that a community without cannot be a community within. And what I mean by that, a community without the honor and respect of men cannot expect to have a community within with men protecting the women and the children. It's always Al Greeze, based on my own experience, that anytime it comes down to men and masculinity, it's often predicated on men doing things in a spirit of servitude. It's never based on honor and respect like you see in Brazil and other cultures, but it's always based on servitude. What do you say about that? And in the meantime, guys, I need you guys to do me a favor. Get these likes up. If you have not donated to the channel, donate to the channel. So in the meantime, guys, I need you guys to do me a favor. Go hit the robot, because the robot has told me the bills got to get paid. So guys, go hit the like button, get the likes up, and I appreciate it. Give me a minute. All right, guys, so if you have not donated to the channel, please donate to the channel. To the moderators, I want you guys to drop the link to Al Greeze, Frustrated 1, 2, and 3. I call Frustrated 3 Al Greaze's crowning work of achievement because, it's bringing on a different discussion. But let's get back to topic, Al Greeze. Is a woman king an attack on masculinity? And I know you answered it in part, I believe, but I want you to be more succinct. Is the woman king an attack on masculinity? And have you seen things get precipitously worse in these last 10 to 20 years?
I can't honestly speak on that. Like I said, I was in the process of going to watch the film this evening.
Okay.
I didn't get a chance to do so because I wanted to make sure I'd be here, chop it up with you. But I'm going to go see it tomorrow. So if we
no doubt.
We can do that.
Sure.
So I can't speak on that. But what I can speak on, looking at some of the backlash and where the backlash is coming from, why people are upset, and they're not upset because from the narrative that's coming out, they're not upset because of the lack of masculinity in the film. They're more upset because the film itself is not factual, it's not truthful, and they kind of didn't own up or didn't come out with their part of slavery in it, and they were portrayed to be fighting off the British and fighting off, but the British came in to help them stop them from enslaving their own people. So people are kind of upset about that movie. Like a topic of slavery is a sensitive topic, and for them to play on that, people seem to be upset about that. Like once I go see the film tomorrow, man, if you want to have me back on into an in-depth discussion, man, I'd be more
okay. Yeah, no doubt. We'll definitely do that. Shout out to my man Killian Williams for that $5 super sticker. I appreciate it, Killian Williams. And as of right now, I'm Killian Williams. You are the #1 sponsor of the stream. I appreciate it, brother.
It's the money.
Like all these the robot and all these effects, man. Like all this stuff, man. I see you, Coach. I see you.
Oh man, yeah. Listen, man. Fire for your mind, man. I ain't gonna stop. Grease. Fire that's that Leo swag,
for your
man.
mind.
We're gonna keep going hard. We're going harder without detractors, and I appreciate the compliment, man. But you and I grew up in a time when men used to say "word is bond." And men were exonerated more so now than ever before. I would say in our lifetime. But woke culture, when you think about woke culture, what does woke culture mean to Al Greeze? What does woke culture mean to Al Greeze?
Listen, we grew up at a time where most of us still had mom and dad in the household.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, and men and young men were being raised by other men. So as that began to switch, and then now you see most young men being raised by single moms and taking on the characteristics of those mothers. So nowadays, when you encounter young men, it's a challenge. It's more of a challenge to struggle because they don't have the same character building blocks that those before us put into us, which made us men. And we're dealing with different group of young men. You got some that fighting and struggling and all that stuff there, man. So that's surface where you see it. And even I said, now, man, I'm glad to see young brothers getting out and traveling and stuff. But they got to realize there's a code of conduct when you go out to travel, when you're going out to travel and all that stuff. You're not just representing you. They see American black men. They just don't see whatever set or whatever group you call yourself being in or whatever. I'm traveling solo. That's cool. But they see black men. So when they see other black men travel behind you, that code of conduct, that's oh, they're here to cause trouble. And they're being exploited on that. A lot of them, because soon as one incident will come up that something happened with a young man, whatever country he's visiting in a certain situation, they're going to throw that out and say that's how all of us do. So I'm just concerned of the code of conduct, man, when it comes out to traveling. It's helpful in the beginning if you're going to get out and travel to be part of a group, BMT, BMO, Zoom to Thailand, whoever it is that you want to go to visit a spot, man, consultation. Andre out there with Love Crossing Borders, if you're looking to go to Colombia, man, to consult with these guys so you can enjoy your trip and have a safe trip. Because the worst thing you could be in a foreign land and then you say, well, I don't know what the hell to do or where to go, and wind up in the wrong spot in the wrong situation. So you want to avoid that. When you speak on woke culture, what that means to me, see, I come from a generation, man, growing up that my father always instilled in us the real shit. Right. And had those conversations with us. I remember, man, when we moved out, like I never celebrated Christmas in our household. Thanksgiving and all that stuff, man, we didn't celebrate. And that was a challenge to my grandmother, who grew up in the Christian church and all that stuff. But my dad sat me down and said, ain't no such thing as no Santa Claus. I'll go out and buy this shit. I work for it and give this to you. There's no man that's coming to save you. It's not going to happen. And here's the challenges and stuff you face. So I was woke from, like I said, blessed to have a father in my life that gave me the real, gave us the real. So to me, if you want to get woke, especially black folks want to get woke, we need to really go back and look at those institutions that we still service. I seen growing up, and just from that, man, people who didn't have shit trying to spend money on Christmas gifts, garbage give to people because it's Saint Nick and Christmas and all this shit. And I'm like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? And because that's the culture and that's the setting we were brought up in. So to fully be woke, I'm concerned with black folks. But we need to fix that kind of shit in our house. Right. And even me right now, man, like Thanksgiving, if you talk to family members Thanksgiving, I usually fast on that day. Don't look to go be glutton in how much I can eat, how much can I not eat this day. Right. Because if you look at the true history of Thanksgiving, it has a different meaning for some of us. So to actually be woke, man, it's to be conscious of who you are and what condition you in and what environment you in. And to me, that's what the whole woke thing means to me, is to be conscious. So, and when you go out there making conscious decisions based on whatever you're purchasing, what do you do in your neighborhood, what are you doing in your community, and activities of that. So that's what that means to me.
Well, you talk about wokeism as it relates to realness, but also as it relates to just keeping it real. But Greeze, there's a wokeism that's predicated on being delusional. And that kind of wokeism more or less seeks to change history. It seeks to keep a lot of our women in a state of perplexity and ignorance. It seeks to teach men that they don't have power, and also to more or less defer power in relationships. That kind of wokeness seeks to more or less subvert consciousness, but also, Greeze, it seeks to subvert heteronormative masculinity. In a minute, we're going to talk about the groups, Al Greeze, that seek to subvert masculinity based on what you've seen. Because you talked about when you were trying to push your movie to certain venues, they didn't like what you were saying because it wasn't woke. You were woke as it relates to knowing your rights as a man and what you want going to change. But see, they weren't woke because, what Greeze was talking about was male empowerment. And see, Michael Jackson said it better than you and I. He said, they don't really care about us. And what you're saying now, men are beginning to self-introspect. They're beginning to love themselves. They're beginning to get the best outcomes, but some don't like it. So we're going to talk about wokeism as it relates to reducing masculinity in these certain groups that you know of and I know of that are part of the process. But in the meantime, shout out to Jamal for that $9 super sticker. Thank you, Jamal. That's a deal, right? I really appreciate it. Shout out also to my brother. I call him my sniper. Top Gun. Always showing love. Top Gun said that salute good brothers. She had a movie in 2018 named Widows about empowered widows who had to overcome their dead criminal husband's activities and became vicious. Her role in Fences was a victimized good wife as well. Yeah, and we're going to talk about that, Al Greeze, because you are a filmmaker, and we're going to talk about it. But Top Gun, because of your love offering, brother, you are the #1 sponsor of the stream. I appreciate it, brother. No doubt, I appreciate it. And also shout out to Fran Wins for my $5 super chat. Thank you, Fran, dear. I appreciate it. But once again, the wokeism that you see in Hollywood, Al Greeze, is more or less to minimize or to subvert history. And what it does, like you were talking about earlier, you got to make a profit, so you got to lie a little bit to gain an edge. But it becomes problematic, Al Greeze, when people are so delusions and they can't see right from wrong. When you think about key groups,
no. Because if you telling, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but if you
go ahead.
Of the Jews' experience and the Holocaust and stuff, they're not going to let anybody just produce that film.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to let anybody just go in there and produce that film. They will not let me produce that film.
Mm-hmm.
They want somebody and produce that film to be accurate and tell the description of what happened to them.
Right.
What happened to them. They're not going to let just anybody going in and tell their stories or fund anybody to go in there and tell their stories.
Right.
So the issue, I get what you say, because if she was looking for money to produce, if she found the film, she found the script, had it written up and all that stuff. So if she was really looking for somebody to be accurate and fund it and find that movie, she would find people who look like her to be accurate to do so. They weren't interested in that. Like I say, they weren't interested in devouring the men's role in that movie. That's not the issue. The issue is that the woke community came up and said, well, if we're going to be woke, let's tell the truth. And this film is not truthful. You're not telling the Africans part in which they played in the slave trade. So we have a problem with that. That movie is not factual. So she's catching heat for that. So that's a big part of it. When I look to go to somebody to write my film, to tell my film, I write them all. I don't look for any outside help. When I look for people to interview and see what's going on, I find people in the community that understands what's going on and the issues there and interview them. Don't go randomly pick some dude out in the suburbs that's been married for 30 years who come from generational wealth because he don't have the same experience.
Right.
He doesn't have the same experience that they come from the other side. So when it comes to that, she could have found, like I said, I don't know who her true backers are in that film. I got to go take a look and see what production house that came out of. That'll help you a little bit and tell you who actually was funding it, depending on the production house that it came out of. So even when you find, I remember looking at the 50 movie and stuff when he came out with that, and he played a major writing role in that to tell his story to make sure it was somewhat factual. It was somewhat factual, and found people like him to help get it through Dr. Dre and all that stuff who put money into it to help get his story out. So if you're looking to get a story out, you can find individuals that'll help you do so that look like you. But the other side are not going to let you tell stories, let any outside people tell their story for them. They'll find somebody within that community that will come up and tell that story for them.
Yeah. And I don't know a lot about the movie as well. I've been doing a little bit of research. I don't know it in depth, but we do know that wokeism is destroying the culture and the country, Al Greeze, because what it does not look at reality. It look at things to more or less satiate people's emotions. And we understand that there is a Hollywood component to filmmaking, but also there's a reality component as well. And Greeze, the thing that bothers me, man, people always say, well, your people were complicit in the slave trade. But listen, ethnic conflict is nothing new. In the old times, back in the Bible, the southern Judah and northern Judah warred against one another, and they fought one another, but they were Jews. Here in America, there was a civil war between the North and the South, but they were all white men. There were wars between Native Americans. They fought, killed, and sometimes enslaved one another. But for some reason, when it comes down to black folks, I call it mythical oneness. They assume just because your skin color is black that you pledge a soul allegiance to every person that have black skin. And what folks don't understand is that ethnic conflict had nothing to do with skin color. It was just ethnic conflict. No difference than where you're from up top. You got Brooks, you got Bronx, you got Brooklyn, you got Queens, you got Harlem, you got different boroughs, different black folks, different ethnic groups. But it has nothing to do with skin color. It's more about turf. It's called turf conflict. But anytime we talk about black folks, we always say, well, your own people enslaved you, not understanding it had nothing to do with race and ethnic conflict. It's not endemic just to black people or people from the African diaspora, but it's endemic to all ethnic groups. But somehow we tend to have this magical oneness as it relates to black people.
Go
ahead.
When you start asking for reparations, see, that's different. When you start asking for reparations, you want some money. That's when that gets thrown up. Because like you said, back then, slavery was common amongst all races. Everybody, old people. That's not nothing new. That was common. Now, I think what was new was that the fact that they removed us from our continent and brought us over here to a new land and forces a new language, new God forced upon you, and all the stuff forced upon you with the fact that as you grew up, you forgot and don't know who the hell you are. You just wake up in a strange land being led by somebody and all that. And not to get into all that.
Yeah, I understand.
But that's nothing new. They bring that argument up when you start asking for reparations. Black folks want
right. I agree. Right.
To the beginning, we got to go over here. We got to go over here. No. We don't want reparations for that. We want reparations because we helped build this country.
Yes, sir. Right. I totally agree. Right.
Black man own minuscule resources in this land. Some wrong. And you could be able to point I brought out in the film how what's the bank man? Can't think. It's not J.P. Morgan. The other big bank man that went out and set us billions.
I know you're talking about. It's not J.P. Morgan Chase. I know what you're talking. I know what you're talking about. I'll find it. But go ahead. I'm gonna find it in a minute. Go ahead.
They set aside billions of dollars for black women only. Black women only, not black businesses, not who's the most qualified business, who needs the most help. They said no, and they. Dr. Neal broke it down. They set aside $1 billion for black women only.
Goldman Sachs.
Yeah, Goldman Sachs. $1 billion only. Only. For black women. And they stated that this is going to solve the problem. This here will solve the problem. Exclude the men. Don't give men access to capital. Give only the women access to capital. Make them feel exceptional. Make them feel like they're worthy. They did something special. Not the fact that they've been targeted. And then watch the conflict when she come back home. My business is flourishing. What's wrong with yours? Well, I didn't get an infusion of $2-3 million cash. Shit, they gave it to me. Maybe your business is this. Your business is that. Your business ain't no good. And that's what it's to me. It's all based on keeping us divided. Division.
Right. I totally agree. And Well, no different than the serpent. The serpent didn't come to the man, it came to the woman. So they go to the weaker vessel to more or less give them power to continue to downtrodden black men. And it's all by design. And when masculine men do begin to speak, Al Greeze, many are not used to it and they struggle with men speaking truth to power and men standing firm on their own convictions and also men standing firm in masculinity. Many can't handle it. But Gregory Scotland said, Coach, look at how Stacey Abrams and MSNBC trying to blame black men and the manosphere for not supporting the Democratic and the woke culture. I want you to talk about that in a minute. But in the meantime, shout out to a brother from down under. Salute to Al Greeze. I appreciate it, brother. That's a deal, right? Shout out to him.
That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
And then also shout out to Carlos.
Right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Gentlemen, he said they could have made movies about the battles of Further reads. I don't know what that is, but I appreciate it, man.
Right? That's a
but
deal,
what's your
right?
take
That's
on
a deal,
them
right?
trying to blame?
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's
black
a
men
deal,
for not
right?
voting Democrat, because now black men are using logic and precision, and they're not voting for Democratic policies because they don't benefit us. I think they continue to.
It's failed us for years.
For years, right.
Still going down that road.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What do we get out of it?
What do we get out of it? Right.
Know what you getting out of the deal? Why you pushing it so hard?
Mm-hmm.
But what we get out of it? What black men issues are they bringing up to the forefront?
Right.
What are they?
Nothing.
What are they? If you go in there and vote. And I learned this a long time ago, man. Like I said, my pops was woke dude back then, and I was forced to read Malcolm all the time. My punishment was go get the Malcolm X biography, sit down and go read Malcolm. And Malcolm pushed that narrative back there. Why you keep voting for these liberals that do nothing for you?
They do nothing for you, right?
They do nothing for you, but come around, ask for your vote, and when it's over, then they go ahead and disappear. They go ahead and disappear. I know a lot of black brothers, man, who voted for Trump on the down low. When Trump off, they're like, man, I'm voting for Trump. They voted for Trump, and then you started seeing black unemployment lowest it's ever been.
Lowest ever been, right?
Right. This and that, and he wasn't favoring one sex out of the group, and now you see all that got reversed. You see all that got reversed. So when they come for me, when I'm voting, I'm not a registered Democrat. I'm not a registered Republican. I'm an independent. I listen to both sides of the issue from the candidate, and each candidate is different. What do you got for me? I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm listening, and then I go ahead and make a decision. Like I was listening to Ron DeSantis out in Florida when he was like, "Yo, we need to check these child support cases and stuff. We need to reverse some of this." Hell, that's appealing to me. I'm sorry, that's appealing to me. Even though I don't have no kids, I hate for my brother or my cousin or the next man to have to go through that bullshit, and he's bringing up that issue. So why he got my ear? And if I was a Floridian, he would have my vote.
Right.
Just on that one, he would have my vote. So black men are start paying attention a little bit more in the issues, and they see the like one of the biggest tricks in the book has always been divide and conquer.
Right.
You can divide us, it's easy to conquer us, and we're taking a different political agenda. And they use Stacey Abrams and all that. If I had more black men to come out here and support what? What's on the agenda for black men? Biden made it clear that if I get in office, I'm taking a black woman with me.
Right.
He made that. I'm not the most qualified black person, not the most qualified a politician, black person in politics right now to balance. If I want to balance it out, I'm taking a black woman. And you look at his cabinet, you got black press secretary. She's women all over. So black men are starting to feel isolated when it comes to that party, and I don't blame them from looking elsewhere.
Right. No, I totally agree with you, man. Guys, go check out Al Greeze Frustrated 3. That's the Vimeo link. I call it his crowning work of achievement. Go check it out. I'm going to look at it again. I got to look at Frustrated 2. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. We got some spam in here. But in the meantime, shout out to my man, Counselor MG Live. He said, excellent points. I would like to call in, but I'm busy just showing a little support. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you, brother, for that kind donation. I really appreciate it. Go ahead, Greeze. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
No, I'm saying if they don't like the Woman King now, Frustrated 3 is available. Go check that out. And it's cheaper. It's cheaper. You get to see that. You could watch that in your home. Pop your own popcorn. That's all I'm saying. It's cheaper too. Your boy here, Al Greeze, produced it, wrote it. You got a problem with me? You could DM me about the product. I'll talk back to you. Talk to you.
And I'm proud of you, man, because you're very tenacious and you're relentless and you staying true to your code as it relates to male empowerment, because we're living in a time when men don't empower men. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about the groups that subvert masculinity. Also, shout out to my man, Gregory Scotland, for that $10 super sticker. Thank you, Gregory Scotland. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it, Gregory Scotland. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. But when you think about Al Greeze, the groups that subvert masculinity, what groups come to mind? We can argue one is the Democratic Party because it more or less encapsulates plantation politics. But when you think about other groups that more or less subvert masculinity, what other groups, Al Greeze, would you say play a role in that?
Well, I don't study all the groups, but I'll tell you the most dangerous group of them all is black men. When you have black men that come up that don't support masculinity, that's frightening. To me, that's frightening. I get more challenges, not from the women who watch my work, but from the men who've never seen tell me this is this. And I'm like, when y'all start this shit? When this shit come from? When men start acting like this? But then, you had to break it down, and passport bros that do this. So, no, man, we think global, you think local. You think on a local level, we think on a global level, not just for relationships, but economic opportunities and a lot of opportunities out there. The world is mine.
Right.
I'm not confined to the borders of the United States. Now, if you want to confine yourself to the borders of the United States, that's on you. I don't have an issue. But to me, that's the most dangerous group is when I see black men come out and attack other black men and for their masculinity. That's scary.
Yeah, and you don't find no other group of men that do it. White men don't do it. Latin men don't do it. But, so many of these black men have been raised by their mamas. They over-identify, and they don't know any better. And I found it real odd, man. I found it real odd. Go ahead, bro.
But no, that's come from a code of conduct. I remember growing up, man, and working jobs or whatever. You didn't see your white supervisor go out and discipline a white employee in front of a group of black people. He pull them to the
side, right?
Come up to the office. Come to the office and pull them to the side over. I never seen an Asian man do that. I never seen an Indian or Hispanic. They pull they to the side. And then when I started working, man, I was out in Atlanta and being introduced to female bosses and stuff, how they would emasculate right there on the floor in front of everybody. And force brothers to react totally different out of character, what made them lose their job or whatever, because, we can't tolerate the violence and all that stuff. When you're dealing with a man, you come up there, let me first respond. Who the fuck you talking to? They're in this job. You don't come at me like that. And then, she running. And, my man, we cool with for years, man, he lost his job over that, man, because he overreacted the way she came at him and emasculated him on the work floor in front of everybody. And he felt defenseless. And that's the only way he can defend himself was to come back at her with strong language and all that stuff. Kind of in a threatening manner, but the guy's a good dude, man. Had a wife and kid, and had to go home and say he lost his job. But I say he lost his job over some bullshit.
Right.
So just to a code of conduct, man.
And you
have that. They have that code of conduct and how we deal with each other.
Right. And Greeze, they said men that travel are licks, and we're gonna talk about that in a minute. They say
a lick.
A lick, yeah.
What's a lick?
Well, a lick is basically a person that's easy to get manipulated or robbed. When you think about a predatory animal, you think about a lion. When they kill its prey, that's where I see it. They lick it once they dominate it.
Okay.
And so, and so basically they presume and assume, Al Greeze, the men that travel are licks. This Big Block, she was on Chantel Simone's show, and she was talking about black men being licks. They always go back to the least common denominator, saying they're socially awkward, they can't get women in America, they're lames, they got bald heads, they got defective penises. There's always the constant pulverization because they see black men as nothing more than supplies. They're supply men, nothing more, damn, not less. And it burns me out. And I'm gonna let you see the clip in a minute, but should black men be mad at Hollywood? And do you feel like black men support black men as it relates to male stuff? And so this is a loaded question. Do black men support black men as it relates to work like yours and other black men? Now, I would say in part, yes. Now, I'm not saying a whole, but in part, yes. I think there have been some men that have supported your movie. I supported it. There's a brother that raised $3 million called the Rippa Verse. He raised $3 million. Some of the white comic book people got mad at him because he superseded his quota. He went from $1 million to raising $3 million to produce black male-owned comics. But to your detractors, would you say that black men adequately support black male content in your opinion?
Not all. And I get the fact that my content may not appeal to all black men. So in my process, I bring my content to those I feel it appeals to. if I want to be successful, because mine are not going into theaters. Not the frustrated series are not going into theaters, because I went down that road and they told me how they felt about the frustrated. Even going through my own film festivals and stuff, how they felt about frustrated series. So I knew I had to take an alternate route. There are plenty of brothers out there that support black businesses. That some of them feel that which your business is non-threatening. You understand what I'm saying? Like you might start up a clothing business, a black-owned clothing business, making suits and stuff and tailoring and stuff. Oh yeah, I support your brother and all that. It's not threatening. My film, they feel is threatening because it offers a solution to some of the dating issues and marriage issues that brothers find themselves here to explore and find black women in other countries. You got black women in other countries, so they find that threatening because you're losing that major resource. Once brothers go out, they don't come back. I've been going traveling back and forth to Brazil and other countries for the last 15 years. I've never seen a brother on a flight said, "Yo, I want my money back."
Right.
I want this was whack. This whole situation was whack. I want my money back. Never seen that. Never seen that. Never heard that either. Most of the guys tell me, man, damn, this changed my life. And I can show you that I get, man, this trip changed my life, man. I'm done. So I can see the attack on that. And from the women, I understand it, because they're never going to stand up and take full accountability for their role in it. They never stand up and take accountability for their role into our separation, what's going on as far as our relationships in our community. They will not. It's you bald, you got little wee wee, you this, you short. But as soon as I say, well, shit, you overweight, oh, you fat shaming. Wait a minute, you can do something. No, but you can do something about that. You can do 6. I 6'4". I don't care what you say about it. I can't grow to 6'4".
Right.
Genetics, man. They took my hair away, some of the stress. I go bald. I just put the razor to it. That I'm not into hair plugs and all that stuff, man. I take it how I get it. So I'm not into all that. But the stuff you angry with me about, I can't change. But I ask you to just at least get fit. You have a problem. You get fit. Dance show ain't feminine. You can forget that. Dance show ain't feminine. So I'm done with being in combative relationships or situations. So I go where they have feminine women. I go where they have fit feminine women, beautiful black women. Black women in the United States don't have the cornerstone of black women in the world.
Right.
Diaspora, so I can travel. I said, but I see why you mad at me. I'm like you said, I spread the word of freedom. So I get it why you mad at me. Black woman, but I don't understand why black men come at me.
I understand that. Like I said, it's a concept called over-identification. It's for a myriad of reasons. Some of it, they want to feel like they're superior, Some of it, I think, it's abandonment issues. They saw their daddies leaving their mamas and they don't like it. Some of it also is that they want to also, like some of these dating coaches, they want to feel like that they're superior in the market as it relates to telling men what to do. And then some of it is, almost like, yeah, go ahead.
Those dating methods and dating coaches, that shit don't work.
Right.
It does not work. Because when you travel outside the United States, you see a kind of a normalcy of dating and stuff. It's easy. It's normal. Hello, oi, to the bank. It will say, bebida, comida, let's go eat, let's go drink. It's more natural. You sitting up there coaching me. I wish a man would coach me how to go out there and date. Like this, and make sure you put the table, and make sure that the chick is over here, and you do. Please, for what? Look at the marriage rate. How long that shit gonna last for before she get half of my shit? 5 years? 7 years? 3 years?
Right.
Come on, man. It's more natural. This dude's right now that scour over all his body of water to get. They hook up with a little chick or find somebody cool. Or scour way the hell over here, man. And then to deal with that.
Yeah, and to the people that say they want to check out Greeze Films, go check out greezefilms.com/frustrated3. And then the latest movie is Vimeo on demand. That's the Frustrated 3 movie. So you can check out both. An excellent movie. I'm going to look at Frustrated 2. I still haven't seen it yet. I saw Frustrated 1, and I was in 3. I'm gonna look at that again too. But I'm definitely going to look at Frustrated 2. I want to see that. That's a good movie, and you guys need to go check it out. You know, it's very important that men support men, and we know Al Greeze. We got a lot of hyena simps in the house. You know, a lot of hyena simps. They don't respect men or support men because, like I said, masculinity is something they never seen, and therefore they can't respect it. And so anytime they see men doing what they want to do, especially black free men, then it's an affront to their ego and an affront to what their mamas taught them, because once again, they over-identify with their moms, but also it's projection based on the pain that they saw their dads do when their dad left their mamas. And some of that is, I think, is a byproduct of these men getting frustrated as well. But in the meantime, shout out to my man, KP from KC5. He says, spread the passport gospel, hallelujah. Shout out to Top Gun. He said that it's a form of Dirty Mac, and really, yeah, I can see that as well. And it's crazy, man. But guys, go check out the movie, GreezeFilms.com, Frustrated Series, and also Vimeo On Demand, the Frustrated 3 movie that I call Al Greaze's Crowning Work of Achievement. But let's get back to topic. Should black men once again be mad at Hollywood? Because you talked about Goldman Sachs. You know, they
mad at Hollywood. You don't have to spend your money in Hollywood. You don't. So when you see, listen, I remember Spike Lee. When Spike Lee did Do the Right Thing. When Spike Lee did Do the Right Thing. I must have went back to that whole summer. Went 8 times to go see it because it's the first time I've seen somebody telling a story that I could relate to, identify with, and he did it and set up in Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy in Brooklyn. But I was raised in the Bronx and moved up to the suburbs out in Amherst. But I could identify with that story. When I came back, I told my boy, "Hey, what y'all doing, man? Let's go watch Do the Right Thing. Let's go watch Do the Right Thing," because I could identify with that story. Mm-hmm. And if they have, now that I'm old, you don't have stories that I identify with unless I'm looking to be entertained.
Right.
If I'm looking just for pure entertainment, and I go watch what's the movie, man, when all the fuckers come together and all that shit. And
you're talking about the Avengers.
Yeah, the Avengers and all that shit. If I want to see entertainment and go watch Hulk slam and go out and laugh and giggle, but when you're trying to make a story on the level like she did, The Woman King, and I said, well, title threw me off a little bit because it sounded like an oxymoron in the beginning, but I don't have to watch it. You don't have to give Hollywood your money. There's a lot of brothers out there that do whatever films you looking to do or whatever you're looking into from Netflix on up, man. You can go elsewhere, but that's how I was raised. Somebody offend you, why you give them your money? You give them your power when you give them your money. I don't have to give you my money.
Right, but I guess what my logic would be, Greeze, is that it could be argued that they don't get the support. Like it's almost like black men are constantly being marginalized. So not only black men, white men too, but they get Goldman Sachs. Which imagine if Goldman Sachs gave you the money to pump movies out, you would be a millionaire. Imagine if Sony gave you money, and I get it. You want to do your own thing because they can't own you. I get that.
No. Because they can't own it, because then I know they're not going to fund it. It's not because I didn't try. I didn't try. I keep my money in my pocket and use other people's money to get rich. But then my personality was, I'm not going to sit on the sideline and wait for them to approve my work. Who the hell are you to approve my work?
Right.
That was my attitude. Not that I wouldn't welcome the outside funding and the outside help, because I can go. It turned into a rocket ship. We can turn that into a rocket ship, but I'm not going to sit on the sideline and wait for individuals to determine or decide when my project, or when they feel like they're going to fund my project. So I find brothers like yourself. I find brothers, BMO, man, has been tremendous help for me, man. Over 30,000 brothers in there, and they allow me to come in there, man. And shit, I don't have to beg you. I can go ask my brother.
Right.
Go ask my brother. If I want to do a film another film real quick, I can come on your show. I could ask you, excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Ask you, could I come on your show?
Right.
And I want to ask your audience, man, if they could help me raise $50,000, man.
Right.
And go on to the next one, go on to the next one, go on to the next one. And, it takes me a little bit longer, but, I got to develop a different work ethic. But I know Sony ain't giving me no money, because I ain't talking about killing nobody. I ain't talking about drug, I shoot them up, I keep the thing on me, And no, I'm telling brothers, listen, man, you're not happy and you're going through this. And you know what's crazy? Because I just watched Bill Moore last week, and they had 2 white guys advocating for white boys who going through this. Mm-hmm. They said white boys not having sex anymore. Mm-hmm. They had sex in years, they partners and stuff, and then they go pick up weapons and have target attacks on, especially looking at black men. Like that kid from Buffalo, I don't know if that was his reason or not, but they were giving him the excuse of that he went up there, he ain't dating nobody like him, so they go kill. Mm-hmm. No, I ain't telling nobody to go kill nobody. I tell you, go to the post office. Go post office, spend your little $100 or whatever. Stop buying Jordans. Stop buying X, Y, and Z. Stop feeding them bitches at them silly ass restaurants, Applebee's and TJI Fridays. Save your money, and take you a trip somewhere. That's being productive. That's being real productive. And I seen them was advocating for the white boys over there, talking about, man, y'all got to find another way. I find another way. I come up with a solution to help black men. I come up with a solution to that, but that's not applauded. That's not applauded. But I seen them white boys up there talking on Bill Maher's show, trying to help them white boys. What white boys need to start doing. I started hearing what's my man out there from Canada?
You're talking about Jordan Peterson, right?
Dr. Jordan Peterson. Now he's out there advocating for the white boys. He see it too. He advocating. He's speaking on them white boys, and they support him. They coming in. Them white boys going in and support him.
Right.
Because he speak on their behalf of what they need to start doing.
Right. Right. I totally agree. Shout out to my man Alton Prayer for that $50 hitter. Alton Prayer, has always been the kind of brother, man, that's been kind and generous. Shout out to Top Gun. He always showing love. James Turner. Nice Sometime and many, many more. Ray Johnson. A lot of brothers always show love, man. And like I said in the past, I don't always call your names out, but I'm forever grateful for everything you guys do. But as of now, Alton Prayer hit me with a $50 piece, a $50 super chat. I mean, not super chat, but a $50 cash app. And Alton Prayer, because of your love and also your kindness to this channel and support, Alton Prayer, you are the #1 sponsor of this stream. Thank you, brother. All right, Top Gun said the suppliers only feed the needs of their consumers. That's the motto for the streets to Hollywood. No doubt, I agree with it. And then also, Alton Prayer said this to you, Al Greeze. I just want to thank you, Al Greeze, for being so inspirational as I'm having a wonderful time in Thailand. And those are the kind of stories that we want to hear as it relates to male empowerment. What's your take on that, Al Greeze?
From what he just said, thank for the wonderful time.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the stories I love to hear when brothers told me they got out and they went out and they found a way and they enjoying themselves, man, and they got introduced to something different. But let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. What would happen? Because from the communities and stuff that's been built right now, the whole manosphere and all that stuff, what would happen to that if YouTube said no more?
Right. Right.
What happens then?
Right. You're right. And that's why we got to create our own. That's why we got to support guys like Al Greeze, because see, Al Greeze funds his own movies, and it's from the support that he gets from other brothers and other donors that help him push a greater initiative. If black men will come together, and we know that there's a cadre of black men that will do it, we could be a force to be reckoned with. We understand that men don't spend a lot of money, but to the men, the good brothers, we're not talking about the dusty ones, that come together and support men like Al Greeze, his movement, his initiative, that we can continue not only to get good shows, but also to have men that represent us and represent our image. But however, Greeze, there are detractors to say, they say, well, stop complaining, just pull yourself up by the bootstraps. And in theory, that makes sense. But
what are we complaining about?
Well, they say that, some would say that black men are complaining about Hollywood supporting women like the Woman King and other Goldman Sachs And they say black men are whining and complaining about it. But I don't think we're necessarily whining and complaining about it. We're talking about justice and equity. And when you see groups that won't support black men work just for the sake of them being men, you can do one or two things. You can just complain about it, or you can do something about it. And you're doing something about it. You're definitely doing something about it. It might not be at the magnitude that we want yet, but it is a process. But we got to always pull up ourselves by the bootstraps. We don't get no help. Imagine if donors as big as Sony will back you up and say, listen, you can tell your story the way you want to tell your story, and we're not going to censor you. Imagine how much greater Al Greeze could be on the consciousness of so many boys and men. That's my point.
Oh, yeah. But listen, my point is this here. You saw Frustrated 3. Mm-hmm. What would Frustrated be without Kosher in it?
Right.
What would it be without El Guapo in it?
Right.
What would it be without the BMO crew I had in there? Mm-hmm. What I'm just saying, what would that be without? So I take what I have and utilize what I have in front of me. Mm-hmm. So it's nothing about complaining. If I start complaining, it's not because I am not utilizing what I have in front of me, but still, once again, if they took Vimeo from me tomorrow, I have to find somewhere else to sell my films. Mm-hmm. Because Sony and these guys are not going to put it on their platform. They're not interested in my work. So, like I said, it's empowering black men. But if they took that away from me, where do I go then? We need to have like shows like yourself, man. Coach should come on in here, and we talk about Frustrated 3. Right. Brothers like you, the naysayers, I can't do nothing about them. But the brothers that's in the field with me, man, and when we go through the struggle together and help me, I help you, and that's what it's all about at the end. Naysayers, you're always gonna have haters and naysayers. Mm-hmm. And I look at it's sad, it's seriously sad, man, when I see grown men crying about what other men do. That's constructive.
Yeah, that's destructive, man. It's weird too. Very weird.
But I'm not promoting you go shoot anybody, rob anybody, kill anybody, or learn how to get the GPS and when they roll up and you can. I'm not doing that. I'm telling brothers to be law abiding. Don't you ain't got to do you ain't got to put hands on her. All you got to do is go get you a passport. Mm-hmm. Get your passport. Go down to the post office. Wait for that to come in. Book you a damn trip anywhere. Now, like I said, because brothers like you and Andre and Zoom to Thailand and all them other brothers that come out there and say, well, if you need help by coming here, we can help you. We can help. Right. That's a solution to the problem. He ain't putting his hands on nobody's daughter. He's not impregnating anybody's daughter and leaving her there because we don't get along and raising bastard children. He ain't none of that.
Right.
And most of the times I travel with lawyers, doctors, from lawyers and doctors and business owners and brothers from that background. And them good dudes.
Right.
You've been on the trip with us.
Yeah, I've been on the trip. Yeah, good brothers, man. Yeah.
Yeah, dusty dudes from law background, law enforcement background, all that. These good brothers that's going out there travel to have issues. They go out there and travel. Ain't no dusty dudes. Ain't no thugs out there with us, man. We sit out here, break bread, have a good time. Mm-hmm. What's Greeze doing wrong?
Mm-hmm. Nothing. I totally agree. Gregory Scotland said, Coach, I would like to get Al Greeze and your take on why married women will get upset over single men getting passports. That's weird to me. They should be focused on their marriages, correct? Well, it's simple. It's called solipsism. It's solipsism. Greece, you've seen it and I've seen it. They don't want you, but they don't want nobody else to have you. So they want to keep you beneath them because they are solipsistic, which basically means they can't see anybody outside of themselves. But also, Gregory Scotland, they have what's called narcissistic traits, many, and some have narcissistic personality disorder. In the clinical world, we call it a narcissistic supply. And so the more you are more or less aggrandizing their egos and making them feel good about themselves, they can keep you under beneath them in a state of subjugation where you can never grow. You're just beneath them and they're always at the top. And the queen is always looking down to you and you're looking up to her, which is out of order. So they just want to keep you miserable. They don't want to honor you. They don't want to respect you. They don't want to submit to your authority. They just want you to be their supply man, to keep giving them attention, making them feel good about themselves while they keep their foots on your neck. And now we're telling men you don't have to do that. God made men first, and men were the crowning work of God's achievement. And you don't have to settle for mediocrity here in America. Al Greeze is doing the Yemen's work with getting men to travel. And also this movie his movies Frustrated 1, 2, and 3. Definitely add clarity to the psyche of what men are dealing with. You talked about some Al Greeze a minute ago. It's a licensed therapist, man. You'll be surprised. I was talking to a brother, man, you know, and I can't call his name. I would definitely won't call his name because it's a violation of law and practice. But, you know, they talk about the struggles that they have within sex. They're not getting sex. Some of these brothers haven't had sex. One brother said he hadn't had sex in about 9 years. Another one, a white guy, he hadn't had sex in almost 2 years. And it burns me up, man. It burns me up. These men are in relationships suffering in silence, man. It's no way in hell I would be with a woman, Greeze, and she gonna damn put me on lock for almost damn 2 years, and I'm gonna still provide and protect. And I don't blame the woman, I blame the men. But when you know better, you got to do better. I wish a woman would try that. I wish she would, dog. She'll see the wrath of God, man. She'll see the wrath of God, because I'm going to do one or two things. Either I'm going to get rid of you, or I'm going to do me until I get rid of your ass. You would never try that with me. I don't care who she is. And it burns me up that men allow women to treat them so bad. Go ahead, brother.
I had a woman try that with me, man, in my early stages of dating, man. Told me, I'm going to put you on timeout. I said, timeout? What that mean? I'm a grown-ass man. Ain't no kid. I'm not a kid. Put you on time. No problem. No problem. And she proceeded to cook. I got something to eat. And rolled over. She said, "You gonna drop me off at work in the morning?" Of course. Laid in the bed. Got up in the morning. Took her to work. Came back. She hit me up. She said, "Hey, you coming over tonight?" I said, "No, I got something to do. I can't come over tonight." She said, "Oh yeah, you busy?" "Yeah, I'm busy tonight." The next day, she said, "Hey, you picked me up from work?" "Yeah. I cooked." She had bubble bath, all that shit. With it there. Took the bath, everything. She went to kissing on me. I said, "Listen, I'm tired. I got to get up in the morning." I just rolled over and went to sleep. And she said, "What the hell wrong with you?" I said, "Nothing wrong with me." "What you mean what's wrong with me?" "Oh, you like to have sex all the time because I wouldn't give you." "What you talking about? Are you saying because you didn't fulfill my needs that I went somewhere else and got them fulfilled? Is that what you saying?" Is that what you're saying to me?
Right.
I'm tired. I had a busy day today. You know, I had my own little company, but I'm working my own little job, and I'm tired, baby. And you know what? After that, I never had that issue again.
Right. You set the precedent. Right. You set the precedent, and instead of letting her change your behavior, you change her behavior. Because it's a you know, they call it a shit test, man. That's all it is. Yeah. It's just a way for her to test you to see what she's gonna get away with. And these model women, you got to grab them by the hands, because if you don't grab her by the hands, she's gonna grab you by the hands. And what men don't understand, they have more power than they realize. That's why Al Greeze, they're getting so frustrated, because men always had the power to say no. A woman gonna either fall in line or get left behind. It's literally that simple. Am I talking right?
Oh, 100%, man.
She gonna either fall in line or get left behind, man. And yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm disagreeing with you. Fall in line or get left behind. Nobody got time for this shit. Nobody. Well, real dude ain't got time for that, especially if he's on his purpose. That's right. You on your purpose, then you're not gonna let this one sidetrack you. But if you're not on your purpose and you into pleasing her all the time and making sure, you're gonna have them issues. So what you see with the passport bros, they into pleasing themselves. They're on their purpose, and they don't like that because they have no control over that. They have no control. They hate it. I love it.
I love it too.
I'm in Baja right now, man. Went over to a restaurant. And had Thino with me. Went over to the restaurant, man, eating. And when I see brothers travel, especially to Brazil, you can't tell until you hit, because we, got Afro-Brazilians here. And a brother, he kind of gave me eye contact. I gave him eye contact, and I shook my head, and he shook his head. I said, "What's up?" He said, "Oh man, what's up, brother? You be on the YouTube, man." I said, "Oh man, come to find out that brother lives 3 blocks away from me right now in the city." In the city, man, we chopped up, change stuff, man, and I see brothers overseas, man. We chop it up heavy, man. We chop it up heavy, exchange info, man. He said, man, I live over there." I said, "Shit, I live right over there." We 5,000 miles away and kick it with each other, man. So I love it when I see brothers overseas getting it in. I love it.
Yeah, I love it too, man. I genuinely love seeing men happy. And I'm going to do another montage at some point, and I'm going to show you guys when I was in my 20s. I was talking about, is there equality in America, fact or fantasy? And I was talking about equality, especially for black men in America, but also at a time to a point where women were more loyal to their men. But in the meantime, shout out to MC Recovery and Wellness. But DC asked you the question, and we're going to get to it, Greeze. Hold tight before you answer it. He said, hey, Al, have you thought about coming up with a Kickstarter for your next project? I would love to see you touch on black men's image and media. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Shout out to MC Recovery and Wellness. He said, I'm late on black. I'm late. I said on another Black Films Festival, and it's sad also because Black Lives Matter women is in there, and they reduce my pictures of Danny Glover. No doubt. I appreciate it. Thank you to those two brothers. And then also Alton Perez said, hey, big brother, I agree. You are having a bigger impact than you think. For example, I got motivated listening to the both of you, and I'm out here enjoying the travels of Thailand at the moment. I appreciate it, man. And then also shout out to my man Brandon Jett. Brandon Jett is showing a lot of love tonight. You guys are doing awesome. Brandon Jett said, for the love of your content, I hear Al on Cash App too. Look out for Brandon Jett, man. He looked out for you too, Greeze. He looked out for you, Brandon Jett. And Brandon Jett and my man Alton Prayer, man, you guys are killing the game tonight. You guys are the number one sponsors of the stream. Thank you for that $50 love offering. I appreciate it, brother. Shout out to Gail at Night. She always showing love with her precision and making sure the message is getting out. Al Greeze. Gail has done a great job with talking about the Frustrated 3 series. She got you those follow Al Greeze on Instagram.
Thank you, Gail. I started to know who Gail is. I see Gail out. Hey, Gail. How are you?
Yeah, Gail always showing love, man. She always making sure and things are getting right. And also shout out to Top Gun tonight to him, and also Gail Nelson. Also shout out to XL Pro. He's always showing love, and also Tim Howard when he's in the house. Those are my soldier moderators, and I appreciate the KP from KC5 and everyone else. But they always come through, man, and it helps me with the streams because it's hard trying to have a show and do it all by yourself, man. If you know anything about doing content creation and streaming, you're a one-man show. There are no engineers. You are the show, and you have to make sure everything is operating in a precise manner. So, but yeah, I appreciate it once again, Brandon Jett. Thank you, brother, for your kindness, man. And I agree. That's what it's all about, man. It's all about men coming together, showing love and support. That's what it's all about. But I want to ask you a couple of questions. Well, actually, ask the questions. I forgot what it was, but I told you the hold tight to it. But go ahead.
Because I think from a different perspective. James Dudley that was in Frustrated. Mm-hmm. If you know James Dudley, man, I think he'd be a great guest for you because he speaks from the law side of it and what he's seen, mm-hmm. and how brothers are being taken out of houses and homes and putting stuff in trash bags, and a lot of stories he talked about, man, seeing young men commit suicide and all that stuff because they felt they had no outlet for their frustrations and stuff, man.
Right.
But me and James Dudley, man, we chopped it up, man, and I couldn't fit all his content in. But he'd be a great one, especially when people start talking about, oh, y'all hating in this, man, to really go in depth in what black men go through. Because here's a police officer who's been rounding up, man, like you said, from the deficit of being nurtured and all that stuff, man, what it can lead to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I met James Dudley. He's a brother about 6'3", right?
Yeah.
I met him. Yeah. He was talking about a lot of the things that men are going through. Shout out, Gail told you to say, what's up, Al? Shout out once again, man, to MC Recovery. He said, I meant to say film submission at Pan-African Black Film Festival is real messed up. He said, because Black Lives Matters and feminists work in the office. Right. I appreciate it. And that's what I'm talking about, Al Greeze. That's part of woke culture. Woke culture is more or less designed to subvert masculinity. Many thought the black BLM was for black men and black families, but it weren't. It's about the woke agenda. But before you talk about that, I asked you a couple of questions earlier. I forgot what I asked you, man. But if you can remember, What's your take on what I asked you? I forgot. I forgot what I asked you.
I don't know what you.
Damn, we both old, man. We got old brains.
I know. I think it was. I know his question that came up before, and you said, "Hold on," before I answered his question, and I went through that too early in the stages, and when it was the inception of it, when submitting with Frustrated One, and how the women there rejected it. We rejected Frustrated One, and like I mentioned before, they're giving me 8 o'clock in the morning viewing time, and I'm talking to the young man that he's like, man, I can do these women up here, and each having my product returned back to me. Mm-hmm. I believe it was the one they held out in Florida, trying to get submission down in Florida, man. So if you're not going to acquiesce to what they want you to have and all that stuff, it's anything dealing with masculinity is going to get rejected. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm thankful and grateful for places like this, man, where I can come and be myself and we can chop it up, because you see what they did to Andrew Tate, just
right.
Removing. I didn't hear anything he said that was out of line or out of order. And he was speaking to young men. He was speaking to men, and he sometimes will address a woman if she addressing him, but most of the time he spoke to young men, right? What they need to do. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why they would felt the need that he need to be eliminated off of social media.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. But that's all part of woke culture. Woke culture is more or less culture Marxism, and it basically says you be quiet and do what the status quo tell you to do. You can't challenge reason. You can't challenge illogical fallacies, and you're supposed to be quiet. But I want to show you something, Al Greeze. You sent me a clip, and I'm gonna play it in a minute. But it's wokeism, in your opinion, as it relates to masculinity, penis envy. Is it penis envy in your opinion? And if so, why?
That's been around for years, man. Women always having penis envy. That narrative has been around for years. I think it's a little bit more in depth than that right now.
Okay, talk about it.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more in depth. Just not that. I think it's no longer envy. Now it's getting to the point of replacing.
Right.
Just replace men in general. That we're no longer needed in this society, and we could be replaced. And that's some of the narrative that you see when some of these movies come out. The whole woman army, the woman army can take on a male army and beat them and defeat them, fighting hand-to-hand combat. I think it's more, and now looking to replace it. And if you look at the opening dialogue I had in Frustrated 3, showing that how women are starting to look like men now, and the men are in the back to looking like women, wearing dresses is commonplace. That whole transgender shit, man, and I don't get it. And I spoke with my older brother, man. My older brother's in the medical field, man, and he tried to, from a psychological standpoint, how people feel, and they feel like they this or that, but damn, science does play a role.
Yes.
I mean, where's the science? I mean, shit, I'm mad because I'm not 6'5", and nothing I can do about that shit.
You can do about it, right?
Genetic makeup, so I moved past that. I played basketball up to high school, and I knew there will be no college. Nobody need a 5'10", 220 power forward. Nobody need that. Nobody looking for that. Nobody looking for that.
Right.
Football. I'm just saying, 5'10", 220 fullback, somebody may need him. But ain't nobody looking for a 5'10" power forward. At 5'10", nobody looking for him. In college, high school, you get away with it because from a need standpoint. But after that, that was it. And I knew it. And that was easy to let that go and move on. But they them have the debates on transgender men and women. I'm a man and excluding the science. So how could we have a conversation when we can't even go on facts? And that's common, man. Now that's scary. And
it is scary, man. And in the clinical world, Al Greeze, we call it something called this. We call it egocentria, and I'm gonna talk about it in a minute. But it's tied to people that are delusional. Yeah, it's egocentria, and basically what it means, Greeze, a person that have a centonic ego, you can present them with the evidence. They think that what they're dealing with is normal. So if you tell them that you're not a cow, And they'll look at you and start laughing and say, yes, I am. And they'll look in the mirror and say, moo. But there's no evidence that you're a cow. But, because they are delusional, and many have delusional personality disorders, they presume and assume that the delusion is real. And so people like that are dangerous. That's why they always say never argue with a fool. Because see, when you argue with a fool, you become a fool yourself. You just stop talking to them. One of the things I loved about you, when these people were more or less trying to shame black men about traveling with passports, you said, I don't talk to those people. I don't even argue with them because, it's no need. You're not going to convince a fool to come to the light. So you just let a fool stay in the darkness, You don't argue with fools. You just let them stay in the darkness and keep doing what you're doing. What do you say about that?
No, 100%. When people ask me to come on different platforms, and the first thing I'm going to ask is, well, who's on there? Mm-hmm. Who's on this platform? Well, I'm going to have Tamika and them. Wait, has Tamika traveled anywhere? Mm-hmm. No, she hasn't. Okay. What about the other guests on the show? Well, they haven't traveled. They want to talk to you about travel. I have no interest in talking to them about travel. Mm-hmm. I have no interest. So I'm gonna have to decline.
Right.
I have to decline on the show because I'm talking to people who never travel, who's coming in there with a combative nature from the beginning. They're not looking to learn or anything from me. They're coming in to combat whatever I have to say off the jump. Mm-hmm. Regardless of if I said, man, I see every time I'm down there and I'm around black men, I see the smiles and joy on black men. No, you don't. Mm-hmm. No. What are you talking about? I black men cry, hug me and cry, thank me, cry. No, you don't. Okay, then we had nothing to talk about. We ain't got nothing to talk about. So I don't go on platforms like that. If we have nothing to talk about, no need for me to be on there. Now, if you want to ask me about it and get some information about my product, my films and my work, I'm more than happy to do so. But to be on a combative stage for the sake of being combative, I don't have time for that.
Well, Al Greeze, Alton Prayer just sent you $50. He sent it to me. I'm going to send it to you for right now. So he just sent you $50 to show your love and support, man. So I'm sending it to you right now, brother. That was from Alton Prayer. So once again, Alton Prayer, thank you for your time.
That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Look at your cash out, brother. You got 50 coming to you, man. And that's what it's all about, Al Greeze. Men like Alton Prayer and men like Brandon Jett and men like Top Gun and men like James Turner, men like Nice Sometime and many other men, Ray Johnson and other brothers, man. There are men that will support men work if it's good quality work like yourself. And I'm going to challenge the detractors that say men don't support men. We know that there are some that will never support. They'll watch, but they'll never support it. And folks don't understand how hard it is, man, not only being a content creator, but also putting the films together. Let's talk about some of the struggles and the pain that you went through putting Frustrated 1, 2, and 3 together, especially Frustrated 1, because that's where the movement actually started. So talk about that a little bit, and then we're going to play that clip talking about the fakeness behind the warrior, the woman king. Go ahead, brother.
No, the struggles of Frustrated 1, putting it together, I mean, I don't see it as a struggle because that's my passion. So I enjoy putting the film together. I had some challenges in making the film because we did a lot of guerrilla filming in Brazil. So we was out in Brazil. We did.
What's guerrilla filming? What's that?
It's called filming. That's filming without permits.
Oh, okay, right.
So you don't have a permit to film here, and you just show up, man. Get the footage, get what you can before, so authorities come around and ask you to move or try to confiscate your footage. And most of that, if you're trying to tie up traffic and have somebody in a car stunt during traffic and all that stuff, I avoided all that stuff. But we would just, going to location. But that's the fun part of it. The challenge came back when it was being bootleg and not being recouping that money so you can go on to the next project and so on and so on. That's when it became a problem. And social media wasn't set up the way it is today. I couldn't get online and say, hey, y'all stop this. I'm Al Greeze, and this is, who you guys are hurting. So it took a little gap between Frustrated 1 and making Frustrated 2. After doing Frustrated 2, the word got out, but it wasn't hard copies. It wasn't in DVD form. Now you had to go and upload it. You can upload it and watch it, and that's it. So it kind of secured my work, but it slowed. I don't think it slowed down the sales. It just stopped individuals from able to download it on YouTube and all that stuff. And plus, at that time, Google had gotten the game, and if you found somebody that was stealing your work, you could flag it. They made it easier because of the music business got involved, and they see how profitable that was. People were taking other artists' songs and putting it on their channel and seeing that they got 5-10 million views off somebody else's song. So now you could just flag it. So it made it a lot easier to stop that kind of stuff. So based on that, Frustrated 3 is out, and I've been getting a lot of requests for copies of it because people want to put that in their library, man. I had a guy tell me, man, I got a son 7 years old and one 9, and when they get of age, they need to sit down and watch these 3. So I'm looking to put the whole package together, man, the whole DVD set, starting in November, man, and get that out for signed copies of that, man, the people that want that out, man. So I figure I made my plea enough, not to, do it that way, and it's a little bit easier to control it. So the people want it, they ask for it, so I'm going to be putting a whole DVD set, a 3 DVD set in November. And so a lot of guys want to hold on to this information for them.
Right. They want to keep it in the archives, man, in case, things break down digitally. Shout out to Brandon J. He said, I like both of you, your collaborations with Obsidian. I did what you both are doing out here. I also bought a copy of Frustrated 3 on your site, Al Greeze, no doubt. And that's a deal, right? And that's what it's all about, man, pushing you. I'm using this channel to push.
That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Like I said, man, I don't mind supporting the work. And then also shout out to Griff, 615 for that $20 hitter. I appreciate it, man. That's a deal, right? I appreciate it. Thank you for the kindness. DC said it was my question.
That's a deal, right? That's a deal,
DC,
right?
you can reframe that question, brother. I don't know what it was. I definitely will talk about it at some point. I didn't see it, but they were saying that that the Woman King also is pushing the lesbian movement. I'm not surprised. Greg Man 502 to the Woman King got a 5.1 rating. I don't even watch movies that got 6 or lower. I watch Woman King 15 minutes and cut it off. Wow. So yeah, that's something, man. That's something, man. I want to check it out, not for the sake because I believe in it, but I want to see the fallacies in the movie. Some would say don't even look at it for that, just don't support it. But if you're a film critic, you want to see what the whole talk and fuss is about, because a lot of people felt offended by it because they felt like not only did it distort history, but it minimized men. And that's what we see all the time, Al Greeze. It's always the minimization of masculinity and the magnification of the female. And but these are the same women that say, come back and support the community, come back and build, but you don't support black men. You don't support boys. You don't support anything but yourself, sad admitting. Not all. There's some decent sisters that do support black men and black work. But it's not even 50% in my opinion. It's always about me, myself, and I. And some of it's negative socialization, and some of it's the mothers more or less selling a narrative that talked about the fathers being nothing. And because we have these issues, Al Greeze, we can't have a more perfect union. You grew up in a traditional family just like myself. We know that tradition is eroding fast. How many years will it take for this community thing to get back in place, in your opinion? Or you don't see it for a couple of generations?
With this past movement right now, it's going to take generations. The damage has been done, especially that you got your young man out there, Austin, getting out at 23, and he encouraging his friends at 23 to get out, and he blowing up on the channels and stuff, promoting getting out at 23, and I do the same for middle-aged guys on up and below in that 30 range, man, get on out. And when you come to a place like Brazil and you see masculinity welcomed, femininity applauded for, and now you have opportunities to work, because you don't physically, now depends on what line of work you're in, but you don't have to be physically in the office anymore. You may have to check in once every 2-3 months. Oh, that's a huge game changer. And the more technology right now, technology is moving towards men's favor. Oh man, I don't see this. I don't see that getting corrected. But I'm talking generations, man. Generations.
Yeah, generations, man. Yeah, because the current trend, man, is not traditional family or traditionalism, but the current trend is wokeism, and wokeism is causing a lot of havoc. And sadly, because our women were not trained or conditioned to honor and respect their men, it's going to leave a lot of women out in the cold. You know, Al Greeze here recently, man, they talked about this, the eviction rates of so many black women. We're going to get into it.
Oh, yeah.
But before...
I saw that.
Yeah. Before we talk about it, man, I got a lot of things I want to show you, man. You're going to be laughing. But before we show it to you, we're going to talk about this whole passport movement thing. I got a lot of good questions for you. But I'm going to pull up that video that you sent me, and we're going to break this thing down real quick. Hold tight. Let me bring this video up real quick. Where is it? Where is that video that you sent me? You sent me a little video. I don't know if that's it or not. Hold on for a minute. Let me go and look into my box. We can hold tight. So it's 503. No, that's not it. But while I'm trying to find it, what's your take, Al Greeze, about this new eviction rate, man? You know, a lot of our women are being evicted at a higher rate than other ethnic groups. What's your take on that? And is that due to damage on their own? What's your take on that?
No, it's damage to their own. Look at the other ethnic groups they show. I don't see the agents parading out and saying that, you know, I'm strong and independent, don't need no man. I don't see white women doing that. You don't see the Hispanic woman doing that. You see who's on top doing that, and you see they had the higher numbers because due to the lack of cooperation that they give to their men, so they find themselves by themselves. So when these kind of situations come up upon them, because everybody's going to go through some hardship, your harvest ain't going to always come in 100%. And who do you got to fall back on?
Right.
Who's your partner in life?
Mm-hmm.
Who? And you find yourself in these situations. And now, you know, it cause and effect. I mean, it's just simple, just cause and effect.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kevin Samuels said, cold winter is coming. Winter's coming, and you can stand on your ideology as strong as you want. Those are not the facts. Facts are, especially when you live in these big cities, California, New York, Atlanta, the average rent running about $1,700-$1,800. That's on that's on a one bedroom.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy, especially in New York. I was in New York with you about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And they were telling me how crazy it is. DC was asking you, Greeze, about a Kickstarter project. What's your take on that Kickstarter?
Yeah, I've been getting the request on that, and brothers want to show their support, and they're asking how they can do that. So for Frustrated 4, once I come up with the concept of Frustrated 4, I will start that Kickstarter campaign and stuff. And being a producer, you have to come up with a budget. So whatever you're looking for, and I've been in talks with a lot of guys that's like, yo, you should. I'm looking for something like this, and I listen to the people. Man. How about something like this or something like this? Or would you interested in coming to Thailand? Can you show us how it is in Thailand? Or what about Colombia? And, you know, with having resources set up there now, with Andre out there, Richie Mack out there, places we already explored, Brazil several times. It just happened to be my favorite, and other places. So once I come up with another storyline, and get the budget together, man, I'll put it out there. And if guys want to see it and they support it, you'll have it.
No doubt. I appreciate it, man. Shout out again to my man, Alton Prayer, showing a lot of love for that $20 super sticker. Alton Prayer, man. Alton Prayer one time, man, spoiled me so much, man. He was hitting me back to back to back, man. So I appreciate it, man, for that $20 hitter.
That's a bet,
Thank
right?
you, Alton
That's
Prayer.
a deal,
Thank you, brother,
right?
for
That's
your
a
kindness.
deal, right?
And that's a deal,
That's a
right?
bet, right? That's
Well,
a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Al Greeze. We can bring it up, man, and let's look at it and critique it together, you and I, because that's what it's all about. Let's critique this, and then I got some more things I want to bring up. Here we go. So let's look at this thing, man. Let's critique it. Hold tight.
Who don't see the woman king are supporting the narrative that black women cannot lead the box office globally. Apparently, the Dahomey tribe in this movie is going to overcome a bunch of white colonizers who are coming to enslave them. But this movie is an utter rewriting of history as far as the Dahomey tribe. What they left out in the movie is that they in fact were a slave tribe, actively engaging in enslaving their own people and people from other regions in West Africa. The movie plot is white people have only ever enslaved black people. It's never been black people enslaving black people. It has always been the evil white European colonizer. Look, well, Viola Davis, if these are the movies that you come out with, then you can't. Make something better. Make something that's not a complete and utter fabrication to push forth your own agenda, and then after subsequently doing that, telling people that if they don't watch it, they're racist.
Wow. So Greeze, I know you walked away, man. What's your take on that, man? You know, you sent the link. What's your take on it? And that's the kind of stuff that we're seeing, man. What's your take on that, Greeze? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry, boss. You know about here drinking them Capernaums, dog.
Right.
All the time, but I like the narrative she was saying. If you talk about you from the woke community, man, and you got a lot of individuals now, because when you say woke, you got some that are on the border of like damn near psychotic, and then you got some on the other side, man, that just breaking it down in the form of truth. Mm-hmm. So I listen to Candace Owens. I hear what she got to say, and I'm not in agreement with everything she says, but I listen to her. Because she still comes from a little points of reason, and right. I listen to other guys. So if you want to learn, you can't just listen to people that you like. You got to listen to other people that sometimes that you may disagree with, but understand their point and the point they're trying to make. They pull, like I said, from I haven't seen the film yet, and I'm planning to go see it tomorrow. Not because of I'm looking to support it, but I want to see the fabric, the thread in the fabric. What's holding this together? What's holding together, man. And like your man said, he could watch it only for about 15 minutes. He had to turn that shit off. It depends on, yeah. Sometimes the thread come quick. You can see it quick, or it may take a little bit longer. But most of the people are upset about the fact that from the enslavement part of it, and calling it racist, reverse racism, and if we don't support it, they're saying that a black female cannot hold a slot in the movie. I don't think that's true at all. I don't think that's true, because there's been from Halle Berry, who started her own movies and stuff, and a lot of other before that can hold the slot down. So I don't think that's true at all.
Right.
Right. That's her way of trying to save face, because she has financial backers that got to make sure they get their money back as well.
Right. Because I think the movie was $50 million. They made about 20, but they said that when the movie came out, nobody was there. But the irony of it, Al Greeze, is that the homie tribe, and once again, I'm not going to castigate Africans from being part of the slave trade for the simple fact of ethnic conflict is not endemic to Africans. All people have done it. Indians enslaved and fought other Indian tribes. All the major wars in America, World War I, World War II, World War III, they were all white on white wars. They killed one another, and also they subjugated one another. We're not saying do subjugation, but it was the quest of power. So it has nothing to do with race. But for some weird reason, anytime black tribes do it or black folks do it, black folks are magical Negroes. We all think alike. Black. Yes. They think that blackness is static, but it's not. It's fluid. That we don't think alike. Blacks from the South are sometimes totally different than blacks from the North. But in my mind, the fact that the homie played a role in the slave trade is really foolish. But if she's trying to paint a narrative about racism, then how can you say that if the Dahomey tribe actually played a role in subjugation of their own people? And then so that's why I see what the big fuss is about. No different now with She-Hulk supposed to be superior to the Incredible Hulk. Hollywood's always trying to gain the edge and push that wokeism, which is liberalism, to say the least.
I saw that shit, man. I couldn't stop laughing.
Tell me why it was so funny, man.
The She-Hulk.
Right.
You took an iconic. I've been growing up watching the TV show, not the comic version with Bill Bixby. I grew up watching Incredible Hulk, Don't Make Me Angry, and the iconic show on there, and Lou Ferrigno would take over from there, and then seeing them put in the movies and stuff. And now all of a sudden, once they showed the She-Hulk, I don't care if they said that's his cousin or she was a sister related to him and got infected with the same. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see that.
You don't want to see it.
Man, that's the Hulk. Hulk smash. This is Hulk. If you reduce it down to that, and now she could do it too. Now I'll stay on the lines of Wonder Woman because it came into, it kind of stayed into the same zone, but she's limited with her little gadgets and shit that she have, and along with Batman in the book. I don't want to get offline, but yeah, that She-Hulk shit, man, I can't watch that. Can't watch.
He said you can't watch. Shout out to a man, Alton Prayer. He said, "Hey, big bro, you, Ingram, and Al Greeze have really good chemistry. Also, where can I order all of Al Grease's film? Just another 20 for the collection plate." Well, once again, Alton, you can go on Vimeo. I think Gail put the link down. You can look at Frustrated 1 and 2 on this particular link. And then we got the latest movie where you guys can check it out. Let me see. The Frustrated 3 one, that's also on Vimeo. So let's go to Vimeo. Gail has put the link down. You guys go check it out, Alton. I'm going to definitely watch Frustrated 2 maybe tomorrow. I'm going to look at it. And I got some already pre-made content, so I'm not doing the show tomorrow, but the show is already made. So you guys do sit back and watch it. I had an interview with Austin Holloman. But yeah, man, everybody's interested in your movie, man. You know, you got played the first time, but it seems like you're gonna get your revenge back on this time. What's your take on that?
It's bad. This perseverance, man. That's one of the keys elements of being successful. You got to persevere through a lot of shit, man. And I'm glad that I'm able to do that, and I'm glad that I got brothers like you, and BMO and BMT and Zoom to Thailand and all these guys that help pushing me, help get me through to the finish line. So I know I get the face of it. It's Frustrated 3, man, but for me, I look at it as a group effort, man. And El Chapo and you guys help pushing me through the finish line so we can get this going. So it's just perseverance, man.
You said El Chapo.
El Chapo, El Guapo.
You said El Chapo. Who said El Chapo?
Netflix, man. I did El Chapo, but El Guapo. I'm sorry, El Guapo. Don't get me Guapo.
Chapo. Yeah, Chapo was a beast, man.
Yeah.
Right. So Greeze, do you feel like Greeze film is getting the respect that it deserves? If you ever went through, maybe like at the Essence Fest, if Essence had to push your movie, do you think it would have been a blockbuster? Or do you think?
Because when you watch the film, from right off the jump, it invites conversation. It invites conversation. Let's have this talk, and it shows the needs of both sides because popular belief is women in the film. I let women speak. I let women give their narrative. I let them give their narrative, and the men give their narrative, and then I offer a solution. So if somebody like Essence would have came in, because Essence is no longer owned by blacks anymore. They've been bought out. Last time I checked in the beginning, they were bought out by Time Warner, and somebody probably resold it again. But Essence, and then therefore, when you see them Essence festivals coming up there, are they for us? And like E said in the film, man, you know, you hear Black Girl Magic, Black Girl Rock, and all that, but nobody talking about black families.
Right. That's true.
Talking about black families. Even the cut with T.D. Jenks in the film. I took that clip from him when he was saying that, you know, they promote you on how nasty black women, how nasty and rough and tough the stuff you can be, but in the midst of that, you losing your families. What's the value? What's the value that we put on families now? We put on just having kids and children, but when you speak on families, that's a whole nother ball game.
Whole nother ball game. I totally agree. Right, I totally agree. Jamel around the world say, if you bootleg Frustrated 1 and 2, you're owed reparations. Yeah, that's funny. I agree. Shout out to Jamel, man. Jamel a good brother, man. Much respect for him. He's a real good brother. He's from the 252 like me. He got reached in the 252. Shout out to Jamel. Paul Johnson said that the woman king is white feminist propaganda disguised as black female empowerment. I totally agree, man. I agree 1,000%. But why is heteronormative masculinity under attack, Al Greeze, in your opinion? You talked about it a little bit, but, you know, heteronormative masculinity, this basically means a heterosexual male. Why are they under attack, in your opinion?
Because you can't, listen, for me, I simplified it a long time ago, man. It's hard for men to compete against men. It's hard for man to compete against another man. Women don't stand a chance. You don't stand a chance when you got to compete up against another man. You don't stand a chance. So they put rules and laws, and you see when women can't compete on that level, they break down. They begin to break down.
Right.
Yeah, they begin to break down, and then now you're a bully. Now you're a bully. You just a big old bully. When you talking about competing for the top spot, when I sit back, man, not a Jordan fan at all because I love the Knicks. He would break down my Knicks, man, but his competitive, and nobody on the Knicks team could deal with that.
Right.
Nobody could deal with that, and he was, he ran through the East. He ran through the East, man. To this day, I won't buy a pair of Jordans but the man's work ethic, you can't deny it. Kobe's and all. You can't deny it.
I gotta stop talking to you, man. Because Jordan went to Carolina, man. I gotta stop talking to you, man. Jordan,
okay, he hurt me. Listen, man. I'm not gonna be in an abusive relationship.
Right.
Kicks too. No, man. Boycott him. I boycott them. Go get ticket instead.
You bought you some Starberries.
No, man. I'm flip flop gang now. When I get me some guys, them flip flops on.
Oh, flip flop gang.
Yeah, man, I got a pair on right now, man. Them flip-flop game. I'm home. I don't need no Starberries. I don't need none of that, man. I'd buy me a regular pair of Nikes. That's it. Just give me the swoop. I don't want nobody's name. I don't want Ewans hurt me too. I don't want the Ewans. I was a big Barkley fan, but he ain't never did nothing. So I'm hurt. I just buy the generic ones, man. How much them right there? $69.99. That's me.
Right.
And once you compete on that, and then the bullying didn't work, and then it went to it's toxic. That's what's wrong with men. They're toxic. Toxic masculinity. That's got to be the problem. Mm-hmm. That's got to be the problem. And if you took that out of the way, you still gonna have problems, man. Because when it came just the balance to field between black and white, all black folks needed just a referee. You can't discriminate. You can't do that. Give me an opportunity. Give me a shot and see what I do to you. Just give me an opportunity. Give me a shot and see what I do to you.
Right.
Watch what I do to you. And women can't compete on that.
Right.
It's hard for men to compete on one another, man. Competition is real. And that's why I like a place like here in Brazil where you see women are willing to compete for me.
Right.
She knows I can change her life up, and they're willing to work for that. They're willing to compete for that.
Right. They want you to give it to them for free here in America, man.
Well, they don't feel entitled. They're entitled, and I have to take this shit. This is what I have to take. No, I don't.
Right.
I don't have to take that shit. And they find out your other brothers and stuff. That's why I said the gap on the repairing that is going to get so huge, because women ain't going to be able to come over here and compete with that. You're not. Your men are leaving. It ain't like before when they used to go to Florida. They said they're going to get a pack of cigarettes and don't come back. You remember that? It started back then. They would just leave. Honey, I'm going to the store. You want something from the store? I'm going to get me a pack of Cools and never come back. They have a whole family set up somewhere else and never come back.
They never came back, man.
Never. You know them stories back there.
That's funny.
They went to go get a pack of cigarettes. He'd be back and she'd be looking out the window midnight. He ain't coming back.
He ain't coming back.
You know why? He knew why he left out of that bullshit. I just get up.
Right. Old Class said, our women are proud guinea pigs for a wheel that don't turn in their favor. Al Greeze, your work is immeasurable. Salute to you from Antigua, man. You got brothers showing love to you, man, always from Antigua, man. And you talked about how far your movie has been. It's not a movie. It is a documentary. I would say would you say it's a documentary or a movie? It's a documentary, right? Yeah, you're right. So it's a documentary. I agree. But your movie is getting across the world, man. What countries is your movie being seen in? Your documentary is being seen in?
I've been out here, so I can't check because I don't have can't check on my phone. But before I left, it was being viewed in 19 different countries. When I left about 2 weeks ago, it was being viewed in 19 different countries, man. And the shocking one of all was it was viewed in Ukraine. And I was like, damn, don't y'all got a problem with the Russians? Somebody's frustrated down there. They took time out to watch Frustrated 3, man. But it's been viewed in Ukraine, Denmark, United Kingdom, Kenya, Australia, Thailand, Philippines, 19 different countries, man. I can't name them off my head, man, but I'm proud of that.
Yeah, man, I'm proud of it too, man. You know, I was proud to be part of it, man. You know, it was an honor to come to Brazil last year. I saw a part of culture that I never saw before. First time I ever traveled internationally, and yeah, it was amazing, man. You know, the peace, the tranquility, the brotherhood, man. You know, I was, you know, but yeah, that first trip was hell though, man. You know, lost my phone, got lost. That jet lag, I think I was in the air for 16 hours, man. Being 6'5", man, you know, it was hell on my knees. I didn't get no sleep.
Was it worth it at the end?
Oh, yeah, on the end, yeah. It definitely was worth it on the end.
Somebody complained going home talking about this is the worst trip I ever had.
Oh, no. It was a good trip, man. I mean, on the end, you know, it all came, you know, to full circle. But the first 3 days was hell, man. You know, the jet lag, being sick, being sleepy, being... I remember the first day I dropped in, man, you know, they speak in Portuguese. I was confused. I was lost. Didn't know what in the world I was doing. It was hell, man. Couldn't use the phone to translate. I felt lost, man. But I figured it out in time. I did figure it out. So,
and you know what? Did it again. And you did it again.
Right, did the second time was powerful. Second time, man, I was ready.
Now, is there a third time? Is there
I don't know, man. I might be going to Colombia soon, man. Might be going to Colombia.
Somebody like you, man, you belong in Thailand. I'm telling you, you're God. You're God. You'll get, if you were to, listen, you'll come back with a God complex. Because you, you're 6'5", you're a big guy.
Yeah, right.
And you're dark skinned, they love dark skinned men, man. And big guys, 6'5", you'll be a God over there.
Yeah. They say they do show a lot of respect, man, to talk about. But you know, I got the ring on my finger. I ain't a free agent like you, but if I was a single man, you're right. They love chocolate, man. They say we love chocolate, man. Yeah. Do they love the chocolate, man?
Man, listen, talk to Richie back. Richie back light skin, so he don't give us so much. I know he tried to put it off, man. I know how they feel about light skinned brothers. I was out there, Richie. I was out there. I want to know why you know black like your friend. Your friend chocolate guy. We don't milk chocolate. We didn't say nothing about no milk chocolate.
You didn't say about no milk chocolate, man.
They want none of that.
They want that dark chocolate, right? They want all the antioxidants, man. You know, they don't want no light chocolate, man.
I was walking through the wall with my man Shane, just to be on. I've never seen people run out of stores, and run up on Shane. And Shane was looking like, what the hell, man? What the hell? And pictures. Got to have pictures and giving the phone to their wives. And, honey, get a picture with me. And she, get me next, please. And I'm looking at Shane and enjoy this, Shane. Trust me, when Shane went back home and they looking at Shane to, oh, you dusty old black. Trust me, that's in the back of Shane's head.
Right.
Man, be treated like God. I don't need your damn approval. Damn.
Right. And I'm gonna bring this clip over this big block, man. She was talking junk, but I don't know. She sounded like she a big block. But would you say, Al Greeze, it's an insult to expect black men to build a community for women that don't honor and respect them? Don't you find it offensive when women say build your community and they don't honor and respect black men? And also, Greg, man,
you asked me to do any goddamn thing that you don't respect and honor me.
Right. Right. Greg Man said something about put your documentaries on YouTube to buy. People don't use Vimeo. He said he can't. It's hard to find, but it's not hard to find. I don't think. Gail has dropped the link. What's your take on that?
That's next coming up because YouTube now have it where you could purchase it. You could purchase films and stuff on there. So that's not an issue. I'm gonna be working at that angle too, man, because we're coming out with the box set. Give it up the box set. So. Yeah, that's a great possibility, man. Yeah.
I'm gonna show you some Greeze real quick, man. How much time you got, bro? I know you in Bar Tijuca, man, with your boo.
Man. I'm about to take a nice little stroll on the beach, man.
Okay. Well, let me show you some of this chick, man. She was running down, talking.
Your ass out. She know who you are.
She know who I am.
Yeah, you know Tyler know you.
Yeah, tell Tyler I say hi, man. She's real cool.
Will do. I told her about I got to do with kosher, and she gave me that, but she wasn't there. So ain't been out since. She ain't been out since.
Was it a good look or a bad look?
No, she just looked like okay, but go in there and turn the TV on, baby. Till I'm done.
Oh,
Till I'm done.
wow. Talk about the cooperation from your girl, man.
Yeah, that's man. You been out with us, man, but ain't no issue, man.
I've seen her. Yeah, she's a cool young lady, man. But
Yeah, just sit there till I'm done, and when I'm done, I come in there and get you.
right. Greeze, I want to show you something, man. You're gonna laugh at this, man. You're gonna die laughing. But I said the frustrated three is your crown of working for treatment. Tell me why it's not, or tell me why it is, and then I'm gonna show you this clip real quick. Go ahead.
No, I think it is, man. I think it is because of the impact.
I think it is too. Right.
That frustrated one had on, like I said, 90% of the cast. It came from BMO, and these guys were inspired by frustrated one. So to have them come back and tell their stories and travels and their ideology, how that is switched, and especially we heard from Chaz, young guys. You about to? That's it now.
Thanks to Talkspace, Philip sparked a new.
Say it again.
No, I'm listening to the video.
Oh no! Keep talking. You're fine, man. Go ahead. You're fine.
Yeah, but to have those 90% of the cast come through there, man, and come back, and plus my game has evolved, so I stepped up on the craft and stuff. So it came out looking at a better product, and we had a good time doing it, man. So I agree, it is my crown.
Yeah, it's definitely your crown of working for achievement, man. You know, once again, I'm sorry, but I want you to listen to this woman, man. It's a lot of contempt in her voice, Greeze. Hold on. You know, she was Chantel Simone did a show. This woman gave her a lot of vitriol, man, and she said men are licks from going overseas. They just want to use you. And I want you to explain the fallacies in this based on your knowledge of world travel. So hold tight.
I have 8 years of experience, and I talk to the women.
So what's the problem though? You haven't said the problem yet. What's
the
actual
problem is they're selling lies. That's the problem.
Okay, women in the U.S. are selling lies too.
Quick question, man. Are you the same one who was commenting on my post, and when I asked you to come up, you ran?
No, I didn't run. You started insulting my daughter.
Oh, perfect.
I don't do that. You don't insult my
So
child.
we're gonna use this opportunity to have the conversation,
okay,
right?
We can have that conversation, but I'm addressing the brother at this second.
No, you're not. You're on my channel. You're addressing me on my channel.
No, I'm saying I'm addressing his conversation about the past.
And we're gonna talk. Yes, that's what we're talking about on my channel. Farah and
your
James.
channel. You don't have to tell me. I know that this is Chantel.
So we're gonna have the conversation. One about the passport bros, right? Because that's what this. It's about. Come and tell me why you're mad about the passport bros.
Yeah, I'm staying on topic.
So why you mad about the passport bros is because they're.
I'm not mad. I'm trying to tell you, I'm not mad.
You said why are you against them then? Why are you against the passport bros?
I'm opposed.
Because you said that they're prostitutes. They're selling lies. Are you opposed to everything that sell lies to people, or is it just specifically the passport bros? For example, Lizzo promotes body positivity.
You're asking me about passport bros. That's what this show is about.
And I'm saying, are you opposed to everyone who sells lies?
So Al Greeze, are they selling lies, man? You know, they said men that travel are licks. They old, they bald, they ugly, they socially awkward.
Well, listen, I'll answer this like this. I knew I was ugly a long time ago. I apologize. Some combination came out wrong, but so that don't bother me. As far as I'm a lick or this, I can't speak for everybody. I can't speak for everybody that travels. I can speak for the guys that I travel with and watching their behavior, and I don't. There's no licks, man. You see guys who are changing the whole outcome and outlook of their lives. They want something better. They're looking to relocate. And the false narrative is that these women want you to come back so they can live in the States. Mm-hmm. Most of them women don't want to live in the States. Mm-hmm. They don't want to live in the States. And most of the men are looking to get out of the States.
Right.
They're looking to escape. So they're looking at property, they're looking at business opportunities, they're teaming up, they're networking with other guys in BMO. Like BMO is a big networking group that travel, they networking, putting resources together. So I don't know what narrative where she heard that from. Most of the time that's, individuals that's butt hurt and she's trying to make herself feel better by creating her own narrative. But if you haven't traveled with Passport Bros and you speak to anybody at Passport Bros, it has connected brothers throughout the states together, man. And they're doing a lot of networking. They're looking to do business overseas and looking to relocate. So I don't get her narrative.
Well, she said, she takes it's always the least common denominator. But she's saying, those men go overboard, they get taken advantage of.
But you heard that from where? Where are you getting this information?
Right. She said based on what she's seen because she got property. But that can happen anywhere, man. That can happen anywhere.
Based on what she's seen. She didn't explain what she saw. What have you seen?
Well, she basically saying men that think that woman is solely for them. Listen, I tell people when they come down to traveling, those women are not perfect, but they're better than the typical American woman based on what guys have seen and said. I've heard guys say that the foreign whore is better than the American woman.
Damn, now that's rough. Wow.
You ain't never heard that, Greeze?
I ain't heard that.
Yeah, they said they're more feminine than the typical American woman, man.
That cut deep right there.
Yeah,
she's retaliating because who put that narrative out, that cut deep.
Yeah. They said that the foreign whore is better than the American woman because they say even at least if the foreign whore is faking it, she's still more feminine. She's still kinder, even if she is faking it. But they said the American woman, they don't even fake it. They got an attitude all the way to the bank.
What gets me is they think in dating in America, money doesn't come up in the equation in dating in America.
Right.
So you surprised when it comes if dating, which is a way to provide, for somebody. So when I'm out, if somebody's traveling overseas and money comes up in the equation, you upset or shocked by that?
Right.
You still have to provide. Men are set up that way to provide wherever they go.
Right. That's in a woman's nature. Right. Mm-hmm.
I don't get the narrative. When they come up with that, you're a trick. Why am I a trick? I'm spending money overseas and not with you. Because if I'm back in the States, I have to take you out. You ain't paying. You ain't going in your pocket. You ain't paying. You looking to take me for the long haul. Get with you. Take care of all the bills. Take care of your 2 kids. Take care of the You looking to bend me over.
Right.
The long shot. Okay. Right. And because I don't allow you to do that and I go overseas, now I'm a trick. Okay.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Tricks and licks and all this foolishness. But, white boys been doing it for years, traveling abroad, dealing with women in Thailand, Russia, Sweden, wherever. White women built like SpongeBob been going to Gambia, Senegal, Jamaica.
I just saw a Babyface. I just Babyface, 63 years old, got him a 33-year-old German chick.
Right.
I guess he a trick too.
He's a trick too. Yeah, he's a lick because she just wanted for his money. Not understanding.
When he was singing, "I pay your rent" and all this shit, when I get home, they loved him some Babyface.
But he'll lick now, Al Greeze, because he got him a German woman. Let me let you finish. Yeah, he'll lick. Let me let you listen to some of it, man. I know you got to go in a minute. Hold tight.
Just the passport, bros.
Okay.
Hit that like button. Go ahead. Do it now before I reach out into that screen and twist your hand like our Esther. Hit the like button. Thank you.
Destroy.
Hold on a minute, man. Push his ass, man. Hold on. And guys, go support Chantel Simone. She's a good sister, man. Good sister. Because you will ask yourself the question, what were they thinking about, the angry man, when they did what they did? And then you got to ask the men, what are they thinking about, the angry man, when they allow the behaviors of some of these modern women?
What you're kind of saying?
For
you personally?
Actually, I've had a few, but not that much. Really.
And the ones that do approach you, they don't meet your quality.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Hold on 1 second. Is that what you're saying, brother? That the ones that you approach you don't meet your quality?
No, I'm saying that the ones that actually, to be honest, yeah, because like they tend to give me their number and they don't respond.
They flake off.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the deal. This is where I'm coming from personally when it comes to this. I have a lot of background in this genre right here, this passport bros. I have property in a country that is considered a passport bro haven. Okay, so I'm speaking from experience, and I have had lots of conversations with the prostitutes that frequent these places. I'm only talking about one country, okay, in particular. And I brought property there because they do have this exact thing going on. It makes it prime real estate, okay? And the country is Dominican Republic. So I'm speaking from a place of knowledge, and I'm the only Black woman I have seen from America who walks those streets, okay, in Dominican Republic. And so I have made friends over the years. I bought property there 8 years. So I'm speaking everything I know from experience, stuff I know. And I want to tell you how I got to that place so you can get an understanding of why I'm very much against the passport bros and anybody who supports it. Okay, so this is the deal. I had a brother approach me, and we kind of had a similar background in terms of careers. And he told me he was coming up in the Dominican Republic. And when I say coming up, I mean coming up making big money. And so what he does is he brings a lot of men who do not have success in America, Black men, from the city of Atlanta, and he brings them into an experience. He provides them prostitutes and alcohol, a place to stay, tourism, a good time where they guarantee that they get 3 or 4 women who will hang on them all day.
What's your take on what this woman is saying now, Greeze? What's your take on it?
So far, she's describing an illegal activity. I hear a prostitution ring. Somebody need to be prosecuted for this. That's what I'm hearing. She's all back together. He gets prostitutes, which is illegal. Brings some friends. I hear prostitution so far, but I'm interested to hear what else she got to say. But that's
okay. Hold tight. Somebody said she sounded like she got high cholesterol, man. But hold on.
All night, and they will be their personal sex slaves and servants. This is all organized. Okay, it's a very big network. It's very true. And he told me how good the money was. And so one of the things that I did is I kind of looked into it, and I realized that, I went there and I visited, and I saw nothing but Black men walking up and down the street, exactly as explained. But what I did is I just bought real estate because I knew that it was going to be prime real estate. And I rent my stuff out to Europeans. Europeans have used my space. I use Airbnb. So this is how I know. And so I've had lots of conversations, and this is the concern I have. You brothers do not have any idea of what you guys are walking into.
Hey, can you stop this?
Yeah. Hold tight, brother. Hold on. Go ahead, brother. Talk about it.
Trying to follow it. Then it turned buffoonery, and then I did this, and I rent mine white men. But trust me, I know what's going on in the Black community. Black men come out here, but I deal with white men out there. But I walk the streets and I see. But when it comes to business, I'm dealing with white men. Yeah, I had enough, man. I had enough.
You had enough, yeah. So what's your take on her whole diatribe, man?
It's like we spoke earlier, man. It's foolishness, and fools don't entertain foolishness. I don't entertain no fucking foolishness. She's speaking on passport bros in the location of Dominican Republic.
Mm-hmm. Right.
What they got to do with Brazil? What they got to do with Thailand? What they got to do with Germany?
Right. Good point.
What they got to do with it? So I got stock. I buy stock off of Charles Schwab app. I'm gonna tell you what's going on down there in Wall Street when I get back. I know what's going on. I got some stock up in here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the hell going on? Because you got a piece of property in one city location.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy, man. She's taking one province and equivocating that one province to the whole. Unless you got been to every corner of Dominican Republic, what you're saying is a fallacy because you only given a small sample size of the bigger picture, man. And you hear the vitriol all the time, man. You hear the vitriol all the time where they always think about the worst case scenario. Oh, they buying prostitutes or whatever. But once again.
She mentioned that she bought a piece of property there and she rented out to European white men.
Mm-hmm.
She said that's what I heard. She rented out to European white men. What is white women at getting online saying all our husbands and boyfriends and stuff are going to the Dominican Republic and all these places and buying prostitutes? Where's the white woman's narrative?
Right.
No, white boys been traveling long way before us, been hitting spots way before us. Where's their narrative? I don't hear from them. I don't hear from them.
Yeah, you don't hear from them, man. And it's almost like the constant telling men what to do. Men are just boys. You do what you're told. What's her name? Maxine Waters told black men they didn't vote Democrat. I think she told the women to stop having sex with them. So basically, they talk down to black men. Black men are just boys. They're supposed to do what the queens say. If they don't, they're gonna be punished. And men are saying, "The hell with it. We're gonna do what we want to do." Boys do what they can do, but men do what they want to do. What do you say about that?
Oh, I totally agree, man. And you can't control men like you can control boys. So the fact that they can control boys, they're okay with that. So they're kind of their narrative kind of dismissed because we can control that. But the fact that you can't control men, you have an issue with. Now, back in the States, you're telling these men you don't qualify to be with me because you don't make enough money to take care of me and my two or three kids. You don't make six figures. And, like I said, Kevin Samuels was trying to be a friend to them, trying to get them to be realistic. Men leaving your ass. And I'm telling you the same thing. I'm not here to help you. I'm not trying to be a friend to women. I'm here to try to be a friend to men. And tell men, do not engage in that kind of activity. And once you get the chance to see Frustrated too, how that broke down from there and dealing with these women like this and women with kids and how you can put yourself behind the 8 ball, you're better off getting a passport and start the world, because in doing so, you'll find more women that are traditional than you will find here in the States.
Oh, yeah, right.
Traditional men, traditional women don't want to be traditional women. They want you to come in and take care and provide, protect, and all that stuff. But most of them come in with baggage of 2, 3 kids and already been not non-virgins and all this shit here. But you want a traditional man, but you refuse to be a traditional woman. And then you see your man coming out, so you won't sit there and talk shit about him.
Yeah. It's crazy. How y'all say it in Brooklyn? F out of here. That's what y'all say.
Yeah.
That's what y'all say in Brooklyn. Big Man Official said all the angry people are lumping passport bro with sex tourism. They're not the same. What's your take on that? Thank you, Big Man Official. What's your take on that? He said all the people are lumping passport bros with sex tourism. They are not the same. What's your take on that? Right.
No, they're not. I travel with a group of brothers, man, and we go see wonders of the world. We also go look where it's affordable for us to buy property, us to come better and get property stuff out there and to live our lives in totally different outside, unplugged outside of the matrix. But when you can't attack them each individually, it's better just to lump us all together in one bowl and one pot. It's easier that way. That's the lazy way.
It is lazy, man. But
what does that say about you? What does that say? That your man would leave you for a prostitute? What does that say about you?
Right. And yeah, you're right. Mrs. Lawrence said, so she was assisting European white men a place to stay where she's saying they are prostituting the women. Right, that doesn't make any sense. You're leasing it. That's a good point that Mr. Lawrence said. You're leasing your place out to white, bald-headed Canadian men, but they're using their place to prostitute women. But you got a problem if black men do it. And it goes back into your movie, Frustrated One. They said it's not a problem. Anything is not a problem till black men start doing it.
Yep, that's my man Manny. Manny said it wasn't a problem till black men started. Once she said that shit, she lost me. So she's partaking in it.
Right.
By renting her apartment out to white European men that come over from Europe to come over to vacation in Dominican Republic, and she's charging them high amounts of rent to come there and stay Airbnb or whatever the case may be. They will. I see the white men renting out, but I see black men walking down the street. So there's my problem, and she's not part of it.
Yeah. And it's crazy, man.
Yeah, I couldn't listen to more of that. I can't listen to no more of that shit. That's buffoonery at its finest right there, man.
Yeah, it is, man. And I think what it is, Greeze, is they just feel like they don't have any more power. You know, even some of these guys are the goofballs. They lump all men into whatever. And a lot of it's class of projection. The same people accusing folks of doing stuff, they're doing it themselves. But they got this weird preoccupation about what Al Greeze do with his money his body, his time. If you're not serving the queen, then it's a problem. And I just tell people don't argue with fools. Just laugh. It's funny to me. Really,
I don't have numerous amounts of babies throughout different states of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any illegitimate kids running around. I'm not adding on to single motherhood. I'm not adding on to none of that. I don't advocate for men to do that.
Mm-hmm.
What's the problem? Mm-hmm. Why are you worried about me?
Right.
I have no kids in foreign lands either. I'm one of the most responsible men that you'll ever meet. I provide for myself. I take care of myself. Isn't that the sign of being a man? Provide for myself. I take care of myself. I take care of my responsibilities. I don't have kids, 4 or 5 kids running around anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's not under my roof. I don't have any of that.
Mm-hmm. Right. No, I totally agree, man. But,
now, what I do have, I got this sexy, pretty motherfucker waiting on me. That's what I do have.
Talk about being around a feminine woman. Now, why is that so powerful for you? We talked about it in the past, but what has having a feminine woman done for you?
Listen, my blood pressure go down. I can let my guard down. I'm not in a combative situation around somebody. I'm on somebody that wants to hug and kiss on me all day. Mm-hmm. That's my biggest problem. Is, baby, come on. I got something to hug and kiss on me all day. Tell me, you my king. Damn that movie, you my king.
Right.
Damn. Kiss me all day, man. Just love on me. Just want to love on me all day.
Right.
Not combative. You've been around us.
Yeah. She's a cool. She's
play her role. If she say something I don't like, I could just look. I could just look at it.
Right.
That wasn't the right route to go, and she relaxed. Mm-hmm. And man, we don't argue at all. In English and in Portuguese and English, or with Google Translator. Goddamn, we don't argue at all.
Right.
So relaxed when I get down here, man. I'm so relaxed. Man.
Well, I came with a hashtag, man. I was being funny, but they said South America is the place where your money goes farther, and so does your semen.
Yeah.
Because you're not stressed out, man. You ain't stressed out. You got a fine woman, man. She ain't stressing you out, man. And she just fall in the line, and
easy to get along with. Because she knew who she had with her and what I'm capable of doing for us in general. I mean, when I say her, she correct me and always say it's us. It's not me. It's us. It's not you. It's us. Mm-hmm. It's us. Mm-hmm. Baby, why you? No, it's for us, baby. Because if this happens, then you always include it. When she think of something, she includes me in it. And I got to get away because when I think of something, I just think for me. I'm just thinking for my damn self. Like, no, baby, that's not. What you mean for us? I'm talking about me. Mm-hmm. And she was, no, it's us. It's always us. It's always us. And soft talking, sweet talking. You've been out with us, man.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, she's real cool.
Ain't none of that shit, man. Ain't none of that. Ain't no playing, no games. I got here, man. We ain't seen each other in a minute, man, and nothing but straight love and good loving, boy. It remind me of them old 60s R&B songs when they talk about that good love. For the old groups.
Hey, you know what? And listen, guy, Greeze got him a young tenderoni. She's a young one. She's young.
What I had to tell, I think it was upset because he was like, they're gonna get on you for dating some young chick, and I told him, listen. I ain't got no kids, man. I'm just celebrating my 47th birthday. You think I'm going to date grandma? You think I'm going to date grandma? Crazy.
What's too old for Al Greeze, man?
Listen, I subscribe to the Muslims equation. Back in the days, he had Elijah Muhammad said, you need a woman half your age plus 7. Mm-hmm. I just go half my age. That's it.
Okay. They're gonna call you all kinds of names, man. They're gonna call you a pervert. They're gonna call you all kinds of names, man.
Wait, you been out here? You know how many young older men? Because over here, once again, based on stability, most older guys are stable than some. Right. So you see some beautiful young girls, they be with older men because they can provide some type of stability for them.
Right. That's true.
I did. So what do you think? I want to do that for grandma. I don't want grandma. If I'm in the state, I got grandmas coming at me. Meet my granddad. I don't meet your damn granddaughter. I don't have.
You say you want your
family vacation together? Where I got to take you, your kids, and your grandkids? Yeah. Hell no.
You want your tenderoni?
Yeah, I don't want grandma. I love you,
man. Yeah.
Well, we ain't fit no more. They been through hell. They ain't feminine. Nah, I'm good.
Right. Yeah, man, I'm happy for you, man. Yeah, I met your girl. She's a real cool sister, man. Real cool young lady, man. You know, she's real cool, man. To the single men that are listening, Al Greeze, what should they expect if they come in contact with a Brazilian woman? What should they expect to the single man?
Right off the bat, you're gonna feel that feminine energy. Right off the bat, and that's gonna disarm you. That's going to disarm you because when they greet you, they're going to kiss you on both sides of your cheek. Usually they'll place their arm on your arm, your forearm, or something like that. Some type of thing. So they're going to disarm you, and they'll start having a conversation with you, man. And then from there, you got to be on your game because that feminine energy, man. When you get a dose of that shit, man, because most guys are not used to having that. They used to deal with combative situations, and you see the little videos they put out, man. The chick they taking the chick to eat, see the bill, and she talking about my stomach hurt. I ain't about to pay for that. And then he switched the tab back to, separate bills and all this shit and all that stuff you got to deal with. Man, feminine energy, get rid of all that. Get rid of all that. Have you crying on the way home.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they'll be playing that song by the Stylistics and let the slideshow begin, man.
Yeah.
They'll get over there singing that song by the Stylistics. Betcha by golly wow.
Wow. Your first trip, you'll be blown away. You won't know how to handle it, man. But the more you keep going and traveling other places and keep running into feminine women, because you come outside the U.S., that feminine bullshit stays right there once you come outside. And that's what I want brothers to watch and see women in their natural element. Natural element, man. It'll blow you away, and you'll see the huge contrast when you come back.
Right.
I've been to New York City. I walk around saying hello to women, man. They look at me like I'm crazy.
They look like what?
Like I'm crazy. What you talking to me for? You know me. I just said good morning. That's when you walk up and down the streets with even here, Bahia Tijuca is like a suburb. So I'm one of them, and where I'm staying at, I'm only one of the black faces you see. Me and Shorty, we come out. I'm bon dia. They all bon dia. I hear accent. Where you from? Oh, Americano. It's so Americano. Oh my God, what city? And engage me and stuff like that, man. And just walk up and down the street, man. And it's different, man. It's just a different vibe. I feel safe here, man. I feel safe here.
Yeah, man. And you look happy too, man.
I'm about to be happy. I'm about to be real. 5 more minutes, man. That's all I got for you, dog. I'll give you 5 more minutes. I'm about to be real happy.
All right.
I'll be real happy.
All right, man. But listen, before you go off, man, I want you to break it down, man. And anybody want to come on? Well, actually, anybody want to come on and ask Al a question? You got 5 minutes, y'all can ask him. But I always say, guys, this is the part of the show that we find solutions, man. And thank you, Al Greeze, for being so gracious with your time, man. You know you're my brother. I love you, man. I can't wait to get back to maybe Colombia. I'm thinking about going to Colombia, man, and chop it up with Dre and his wife. Let them, show me the city, man. I really enjoy South America. And, I'm going to tell you something else, man. Being 6'5", 6'6", man, I got to travel first class. If it ain't first class, I can't mess with it, man. Once you get used to first class, you don't want nothing else, man. And I'll save up for it, man. I got to go first class. I got to travel first class, man.
There's tricks in how to do that, man. We'll talk offline. I'll give you the tricks how you do that.
Okay.
How you go up there and get first class. Get your first class on, man. But
it gotta be first class. Hold tight. But before Greeze signed out, MC Recovers on hold tight. But this is the part of the show, Al Greeze, that we find solutions. Hold tight. This is the part of the show where we find solutions. 5 minutes before Al Greeze signed off, like we say in the Tar Heel State, 20 minutes after hour 11 o'clock, bringing to you live from the great state of the union. We got Al Greeze, filmmaker, A Frustrated 3. Let's talk about solutions, Al Greeze, because, believe it or not, guys, me and Greeze, I came a long way, man. I started the band Hook Chronicles and the Culture Clinician with Al Greeze. He believed in me. He believed in the product. When I first started off, man, bad lighting, it was janky. But, man, who would ever have thought in almost 2 years I've accumulated 5,000 subs getting it from the mud. He saw the vision. I knew I could do it, but he said, "Yeah, man, you got it." I said, "Yeah, whatever, man." I said, "You just say that shit, man." But Al Greeze saw the vision, man, and because when I went to Brazil, I was like, "Man, I put in all this work, man. I ain't got no stuff, man." But he said, "It's coming, Sam." He says, "It's coming, Sam." I said, "Man, you don't know what you're talking about. You just being nice, man." But lo and behold, man, he saw something I didn't see. Not saying I couldn't do it because I know I could because I got that Leo swag, but real quick, MC Recovery, what question you got for Al Greeze before you go, man? I'll meet you, brother.
Oh, yes, I've been hearing on a couple of other streams and stuff, and I heard you mention about the stress level. So it's like in Brazil and Colombia, how is the law enforcement? Like, do you get sweated a lot? You and your friends do? Is it like racial tension out there?
I've had no incidents with the police. Now, and I'm out here in Baja, which is kind of like the suburbs, but in Copa, which is more like the city atmosphere, so you'll see police officers posted up at different posts. And I've been walking through there, man, leaving whatever spots, not totally inebriated, but had a couple of drinks and stuff, and I feel safe as I can. I'm not worried. Police coming for me, they're about to jack me up. I feel more fearful back in the States. Look up in the rearview mirror and you see them lights on. You're like, oh shit, here come the police, come fucking with me. And we see how it ends. But out here, I have not had any incidents with the police. And I've been coming
here. Doing that, beat you, boom, 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 bam, bam, boom.
I've been here for over 10 years, man, 15 years now, and never had one incident with the police, not one. Not approaching me, stopping me, asking me anything, no incident whatsoever.
Now,
mind you, I can't travel from New York to New Jersey without having a encounter with them goddamn police.
This is another thing. How is our image portrayed in the television and like in certain cities?
Good question.
Well, I've seen people of color on Brazilian channels. Now, my Portuguese is not as fluent as that to totally understand. But our shows back in the States, they have the cinema channel and they have TNT and TBS channel out here. So they show a lot of our shows in the States that are real big and popular that they tend to like here. Like Everybody Hates Chris is a big show out here that they love out here. They show a lot of the Chicago PD, and the medical show and stuff. So they show a lot of our shows out here that I can see in English. But I know Everybody Hates Chris is a big show out here. Here. Yeah.
Oh, so they more selective. It's not like no degrading images of men in those states.
Well, like I said, well, number one, when I come out here is really not to watch TV, a whole lot of TV. During some downtime, I look for a show, some shows or something here. And most of the time I look for some American shows where I can switch the language so I can hear English. But I don't ramble through their television stations looking, because I'm usually enjoying myself out and about. So I'm not here just looking for television. But through my years, I've seen Brazilian television shows that have people of color in those shows. I've seen what they're talking about, how in depth it is. I have no idea, but I've seen it be there here.
That's interesting. And I have one last question now. This is a business question. Do you know how we have swap meets right out here? Do they got like swap meets like in different places? Like if I wanted to sell
Yeah,
some of the stuff from our
yeah,
state out there.
they have man, they have they don't call them swap meets. They have a different name for them. Like I know they have one called the Hippie Fest out in Ipanema, and that's done every Sunday. So people be out selling baked goods, their crafted woods and belts and sandals, and they have all that stuff out there. So and in Copa, in the middle of the islands, they have stuff set up too as well. How to get involved in that, I don't completely know, but I was talking to somebody about some business opportunities and stuff, and my main concern was the licensings and all these kind of stuff, and I was told that that's not a prerequisite in Brazil for that. So if you're able to find a way to come up with the money and hustle, the government tends to leave you alone because they're not going to provide you with any assistance. So all the public assistance stuff it go out the window. But if you got a few dollars and you're looking to make something of yourself and do something, usually they don't interfere with that.
Wow.
I ain't gonna help you, but either. You know, I'll let you eat, but don't ask me for nothing to eat. You know.
That makes sense though.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like if you want to eat, get out there and work. That's what my daddy always said.
Find your angle, man. Go eat. So I'm not gonna hurt you if you trying to get something to eat. Because I can't help you with that, man.
Wow.
Yeah. But listen, I know Greeze got to go, man. Thank you for your time, man. You've been kind with your time, man. I appreciate it, brother. And we're going to definitely chop it up again, man. We'll chop it up again at some point. After you see the movie, let's come back and do a part 2. Al Greeze review of the Woman King. And they give you something more comprehensive, man. So I'll bring you back and we'll chop it up, man. But thank you. Tell Thina and say hi. Hopefully the next time I come down, man, we can chop it up together on the beach. And, it drinks.
I hope will.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it, man. But much love and blessings, man. You know you're my brother. I love you, man. And I'll see you around. Enjoy your girl, man.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
All right, be good, man. All right. So MC Recovery, real quick, man. What you get from the show, man? And what did you learn from what me and Al Greeze were talking about? What did you learn?
I learned like, wow. It's like, you can make a, if you're in the right age group and if you got the right mindset to not to mess up your image, you can go out there and you can build a legacy, because it's black women, Chinese women, it's your culture on the other side of the aisle also.
Yeah, and I know you talked about getting your son's passports. Where you at in the process?
Oh well, I just got the applications somewhere over there. Mm-hmm. Well, it's in one of these. Yep, it's in one of my books. So I haven't turned them in. Yep, it's right here.
Right. Well, good, man. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you and your son, man. Guys, yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Getting it for him just in case if he wants to use it, because he just turned 15, and he's with his mother now. She came to pick him up, but he turned 15 and he's 6 feet.
Okay. Oh, your son's 6 feet. Okay. What's your take on this Woman King movie? MC Recovery Williams. What's your take on it? Is it an affront to masculinity in your opinion?
Well, it's a front to masculinity. True, I haven't went to see it, but to have that name on it. They couldn't call it the one. What they call it, the Woman King.
The Woman King, right?
Why they couldn't say the Woman Queen? But I guess it's like they want to override the thought processes. This is sending out a dead vibe to like it. just the title alone say, I don't need no man.
Right.
You know, sure I can be king.
Right.
And then I seen that Hawk thing with Meg the Stallion twerk. Right on the She-Hulk thing that somebody put up. Did you see it?
Yeah, I seen it. Yeah, I heard she was twerking.
Yeah, I said. Oh.
Yeah, I heard she was twerking for the gram, man.
But the woman queen king thing, a lot of people is not really feeling it.
Right. Yeah, I'm not feeling it either, man. But if I do decide to see it, I'll go for the sake of this, being a critical inspector. Some say you shouldn't go at all, but I don't mind critiquing to see the foolishness associated with it.
But it's like they didn't do it like the way they used to do things back in the day, like make it an all Caucasian.
Right.
So so it's like, sure. I just hope that our sisters that have their mothers in their lives could explain the reality of what this is really about.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you know what I forgot to ask them? Like, do some of those countries have a lot of female cops?
I don't know. That's a good question, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
When I was there, I didn't see it a lot, but there were a few. There were a few, but I didn't see a lot of it. But there were a few MC Recovery based on what I saw, but there wasn't a lot.
Yeah, because right out here in the States, when it come down to female cops, they be talking just as rough as the man.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it be like, really like, damn. Dude, real aggressive, like, don't move, sit on the curb.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they would do this over a traffic ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So wow.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
That's why I was asking those questions, but it just seems to me, I just can't fathom it. He been out there 10 years and no law enforcement harassment. Woo!
Yeah. The culture's totally different, man. Any guys else want to come up and have a conversation, feel free to. I got about 15 more minutes. I'm signing off. I might sign off before then, but if any of you guys got any questions you want to ask me about the movie, how you can get it, any questions about Al Greeze, feel free to pop in for a minute. MC Recovery, have you seen the movie yet?
No, I haven't seen it. Seen it yet.
Okay.
Like I said in that first cash out, see in the Pan African Film Festival, I'm one of their photographers, right?
Mm-hmm.
No other photographer was there that day when Danny Glover came to visit all of the art exhibit. But that weekend, they put all my pictures up, and when it got Monday, it was just one picture up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked at somebody a private page and said, "Oh, that's what it's about."
Right.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
That's how I know they in the front. They in the front office somehow.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't infiltrate. Yeah. And like he said, they would move his movie around and give him problems and stuff if they're up there like that. Because I've seen them do it to some people that I know.
Mm-hmm.
Put it at a time slot when there ain't a lot of people at the theater. And then you trying to win those ribbons so you can get it to go on the big screen.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you 1,000%, man. I agree with you 1,000%. We're going to sign off, man. It's been a good show, man. I'm glad you tuned in. Do any guys want to ask any questions before I sign off? It's been a good stream. Shout out to Gail at Night. She's done a great job. Shout out to Top Gun and all the moderators tonight. Thank you for everyone that donated to the channel, man. I really appreciate everything you guys do. NC Recovery and Wellness always showing love, man. Yeah, I see it, man. Yeah, I see it. I see it, brother. MC Recovery Wellness always showing love as well. Alton Prayer always showing love. Brandon Jett, the two sponsors of the stream. Alton Prayer, the number one sponsor of the stream, followed by Brandon Jett. Top Gun, followed by Top Gun, and so many more. I appreciate it. Ray Johnson, man, I appreciate it, guys. You guys are awesome and phenomenal. And we're going to sign off, man. So MC Recovery, man, thank you, man, for tuning in, man. We're going to sign off. I got another show tomorrow, man, coming for you guys, man. Y'all going to love that one. Pre-record, but it's going to be a good stream, man. So anyway, guys, signing off. Love you, brothers and sisters, man. Go support the stream. Go check out Frustrated 3 with Al Greeze. It's going to be a phenomenal movie. So, guys, signing off. MC Recovery, man. You get you some rest, man. I'll see you guys later. All right, man. All right. I'm going to drop you down. All right. So I told you guys that there are 7 steps that a man must go through in order to become an optimized male. And understanding how world travel plays a role on the psyche of a man will change your perspective as it relates to the illusion that we have here in America. Many times, because we are limited with our experiences, we don't understand how much power that we have. But once we travel around the globe, then we'll begin to see the world for what it really is and how much power that you guys can have as it relates to not only power, but as it relates to women in relationships. This has been another great stream by Al Greeze and myself talking about the dynamics of world travel and also what men are calling the affront by this current movie called The Woman King. Guys, get you some rest. We signing off. And in the meantime, guys, get the likes up and go feed that algorithm. Go ahead.
Pain. I've been there, locked up inside my head, broken from fear, illusions, disappointment, and hopelessness. Who heard me in my silence, where being a man means nothing? Despair. I've been there too, desperately seeking answers for the questions associated with manhood, hills and valleys, too bleak to compare. Stress, suffering in a utility silo, no comfort, no security, no freedom, no justice, just do it for others. Challenges, who will help me break the challenges? Lost in the vortex of darkness, hopelessness, fear, and abandonment. I've been there too. I've been there too. Take the next step to your destiny. Join me in this fight. Walk forward. Deep breaths. Head held high, men. Come join me, men, in the winds of time. Stories, hopes, visions, purified in the fire. I'm not a superhero, and I'm not the Reverend Knight. I'm here to help you. Join me, men, in this fight. Break the chains of your mind. Let's do it now. For now is all we have. Fire for your mind. The Kosher Clinician.
Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Yeah. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my ass. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Watch out for those who surround you, need no funny kind. You can't see what's on my brain, I live inside my mind. Out of space and out of sight, you need me in my line. Need no face, don't need no phonies, no. Need no snakes, no only homies, down for show. On go. Get a book and get the front and we load up and roll. I got kids, yeah, I got staff, I make a little need more. I sell records, you sell packs, not on my level, no. I'm a pop star, I'm a rock star, I'm a winner. Think I'm not hard, you smoke rock hard waste, man, why you dumb? I'm with airline, we on airlines like we on the run. I'm with take girls run up on me, they done. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Yeah. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my ass. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my. I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, have me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, no matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, no matter what. Add it up, told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up, matter what. Told ya I'ma do me, why you hating on me, it's not adding up. Do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm backed up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying car till you tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, no matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, no matter what. Add it up, told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up, matter what. Told ya I'ma do me, why you hating on me, it's not adding up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up, matter what. Told ya I'ma do me, why you hating on me, it's not adding up. Swipe. Just picked up some bands, come again. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. I'm the running man, rapping rubber bands. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. Swerving, making plays, Ferrari red. Never out my zone, touchdown in my hands. Only fam around me, I can't have no friends. Had to cut you off, you left me out for dead. Ever since I was a teen, had prices on my head. Had to cut you off, you left me out for dead. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. Just picked up some bands, come again. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. I'm the running man, rapping rubber bands. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. Just picked up some bands, come again. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. I'm the running man, rapping rubber bands. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. Ballpoint on the beat, ballpoint make them dance. We came up from nothing, now we're making plans. Just picked up some bands, Tell her ask it questions when I come and grind. On the run like a runaway. Only way is the money way. New chain, no jewelry. No gays, don't fool me. 21, been a boss. Play the game, pay the cost. Heard you rolling TikTok. Need to get another watch. Just picked up some bands, come again. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. I'm the running man, rapping rubber bands. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. Just picked up some bands, come again. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. I'm the running man, rapping rubber bands. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. Tryna run it up. I wake up. I wake up, flex, I'm down that check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, I'm down that check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady. I wake up, flex, I'm down that check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, I'm down that check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. Y'all gon' make me take that trip way out to Europe. I call up Nigeria, come through in a hurry. Those London boys don't come to play, you should get worried. One false move, find yourself, they getting buried. Dance with the devil, used to love playing those games. Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain. I made a promise to her, swore that I would change. I'm on the come up, bet I live up to my name. I wake up, flex, I'm down that check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, I'm down that check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. Like I work in finance. God bless, no, it's not by chance. Don't dab me, you're not my man. Don't at me, you're not my man. Mama said don't buy it if you cannot buy it twice. I cop by the tools and I don't pump fake with the price. Always on the grind, I put in work with all my might. I know that he got me, not by sight. I said I got this, I slide I land this. Fit 4 days, that's for sure though. Grinding from the grip, no shame, take a photo. Time to take a trip, we head north to the border. Say you feeling up, I'm my favorite type of hoarder. I got kids. In the morning, you got me up, all cause you need to talk. To 4 in the evening, wanna break up, say that you've had enough. I'm tired of talking, again and again, argue about everything. You are my darling, this kiss and makeup, I know you wanna touch. You call me every night, call me every day, I just wanna get you alone now. Trust me when I say